Hello, everyone. Time for whoa! I don't know what happened right there, but hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Top Five. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's not just going to be me tonight, but unfortunately, my co-host Jason is not feeling well tonight, so he will not be joining us. So it'll just be me and our two awesome guests. So we'll just have a 3-panel stream. First off, we'll go ahead and say hi to our honorary co-chair. He's on nearly every one of these at this point. We got Lois Expectations joining us as usual. Good evening, Lois. How are you tonight?
Oh, hello. I'm doing all right.
And then, go ahead.
I figured I'd come in today in full cosplay. There you go.
Yes, I often call you our Vanna White because you're always displaying the games we talk about. So you're leaning into it. I love it.
Hell yeah.
So welcome back for another Top 5. As always, love talking video games with you. And our other guest here is someone that has not been on my channel before. I've heard his name around the YouTubes, but I've never talked to him before tonight. And that is John Connors, surviving the Terminator apocalypse. What's up?
Hey, doing good. Glad to be here. Pleasure to be invited. That was a little bit of surprise. Another person who wants to talk to me about puzzle games. Pleasure to be here, man.
Glad you could make it. Yeah, since I have a channel in my Discord for signups for different topics, and Lois is on like almost every single one of them. But we like to try to have 4 people on the panel, and as everyone's, I had some people say, "Hey, who's the other panelists?" I'm like, I don't have one yet, and I don't really know really other people who are fans of puzzle games. So somebody's like, "Hey, you should ask John Connors. He's a fan of puzzle games." So I was like, "All right." It was a little tough getting in touch with you, but we made it happen. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm glad this panned out. So thank you for joining me tonight. Glad to get to chat with you and maybe become friends, and
yeah, for sure.
We'll show up on each other's channels going forward. So
looking forward to it.
All right. So in chat, we see my buddy Dude over on Rumble saying howdy. If Tetris isn't on here, I'm going to riot. I did put Tetris on the thumbnail because spoiler alert, it's not on my list, but it may be on someone else's. Who knows? But I like to try and put things on the thumbnail that I don't think anyone's gonna pick, but I failed on this one. But we'll find out what those are and when. So he says, got one of the Gronkin boys. Yes, I've never actually watched Gronking, but I know of the Gronking because I'm friends with a few people who are big Gronking friends. So. Also, Rise for the Clown. Is that a game? I've never heard of it.
Rise for the Clown. Oh yes, just little inside jokes. But yeah, Gronking Gaming. We're basically a punditry group. We talk about our gaming news and everything about some things that come around on the MLG space as well. Yeah, good fun. We have a lot of blast. Good share of inside jokes for sure. But
that Rise for the Clown is an inside joke.
Oh yeah, one of our guys. They look at him. Going through a phase of that meme, throwing a clown face on him, and it's good fun.
Okay, I thought that was like a puzzle game I had never heard of. So that's I've never been on. Actually, let's see here. I don't think I've been on with Mazza, but I know of him. So
yeah, he's a good guy. A little eccentric, but you get to know him when he's a good guy for sure.
So, all right. Well, before we get into our list for tonight, I like to have like a little starter question, but it depends on the topic that we're doing. So tonight, I'll just use the one that kind of applies to every topic we do. Is how difficult was this list for you to make? For me, I pretty much, before even listing out any games, I think my top 3 were, I'm pretty sure these are going to be my top 3, and then the bottom. My 4 and 5 were the ones where I was going to be like, I'm going to have to figure out what those are going to be. And sometimes I have, like on our last top 5, my 4 and 5s where I did narrow I think I had 15, and I had to narrow that down to, I was able to narrow that down to 3 pretty easily, but then narrowing those 3 down to 2 was incredibly difficult. This one was not that difficult, but curious from you guys, how difficult was this list to make for you guys? So
Mine was pretty easy.
yeah. Did you
Yeah, it was-
know kind of what yours was going to be off the top of your head?
Pretty much, it was just finding honorable mentions, to be honest.
Okay. What about you, John?
I had a really easy time finding a list. It was really fine. I wanted to get as many on the honorable mentions as possible, but like you, I had 3 of them that I knew I had to be at the top, and then 2 other ones I wanted to be like they weren't really like their top notch ones, but they're ones that were had a very significant impact in my life. So I wanted to make them at least mentioned into my personal top 5. Make sure there are a lot of honorable mentions. I got 15 on the list total.
All right. Look forward to hearing those. So we got Nightmare in chat as well saying, hey guys, good evening, Nightmare. Glad you are here. And yeah, dude says, we know Melee James. We know all about eccentricity. So, all right. Well, with that, you know what? Let me create a separate tab here for, oh, wait, no, I need to pull up my list. That's what I need to do. I don't have it in front of me right now. Give me just a second. There we go. All right. So, well, with that, we will go ahead and get into our number 5s. And as I said, Jason, my co-host, is not here, and he always kicks us off with our number 5. So, despite the fact that he's not here, he did give me his list. So, I will be listing his top 5, but I have not played any of his top 5, so I cannot talk about them. But let me go ahead and move this one out of the way so I can actually get his top 5. So, in honor of Jason, hope you feel better and or you know, get better quick. Miss you, Jason. His number 5 is Dr. Mario, which is one of the ones that I did put on the thumbnail. So I know his background is because Dr. Mario, I believe, was originally original Game Boy game. Is that correct?
I believe so, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
It was original Game Boy game, and that does not surprise me because he has some. He's had a number of Game Boy games on his top 5 previous list, so that does not surprise me. I know of Dr. Mario. The only Dr. Mario I played is Dr. Mario and Smash Brothers. Never played the actual Dr. Mario games, but I don't even. I know it's kind of like Tetris in that it's a falling block puzzle, but it's pills and they only rotate like vertically, I think, and they're colored. Although I don't know how you do colors on a Game Boy when Game Boy didn't have color, so I don't actually know how to play Dr. Mario. But Dr. Mario is Jason's number 5. If either of you guys have played Dr. Mario, go ahead and give us a little bit more info on the game, or have none of us
played it?
You have played it. Okay, go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
I got a history of it with it actually. I actually don't have it on my list anywhere because I don't like it very much.
Okay,
but I get why people like it. I just think it's a little too simple, I guess. And I don't think it has as much replay value as other games, but I remember, okay, so I played it like way back in the day. On the original Game Boy version was the first one I played. So it was one of the really early games, and I remember getting really mad at it. But then when I actually returned to it somewhat recently, and I remember putting it on like the max difficulty and just like beating it right away. So I don't really find it all too challenging or interesting or whatever, but yeah.
Okay. Dude says like, because I said, I know that's colored pills, but how does that work on Game Boy? He says there was patterns, so there must have been like little patterns on each half of the pill. So how does it work? Is it like Tetris where you get an entire line of a matching pattern and then it disappears, or
no?
How does that?
You have
how
to
does
match.
The gameplay work?
You match 4 of the same color
in a square, or does it?
I think in a line. Now I can't remember if it's just a line or if you can make it like in a angle shape. I don't remember. It might just be a line.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know it's a Tetris-like.
Yeah. So then if you have like 2 different colored pills, and then you set it down, the other color of that pill will then break off and then fall down.
Okay. Once you
so
it says it was just a line.
There's a little bit of future planning you have to do with it, but not a whole lot, because when each piece you only get 2 colors, so it's
right.
There's not much to it, if you ask me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for my time with it, I was very young when I first got my hands on it, and I never didn't know the rules or anything to it. So when I started playing with it, I kept losing, so I just gave it up. Never bothered to pick it back up. There were too many other puzzle games I enjoyed, and I looked at Dr. Mario. I was like, all right, whatever. But it's hugely popular. There's a reason why it's still around.
Yep, it definitely had an impact. So it's worthy of a mention, even if I don't personally like it very much.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry we can't do your games justice, Jason, since you're not here. Maybe we'll get a puzzle games part 2 and you'll be able to actually talk about them. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and of the people who are on the panel, let's go ahead and have John kick us off with his number 5.
All right, sure. Now this one, if anybody who grew up in like middle school, high school, had a computer class, or just went online, played browser games back in the 2000s, they remember this game because all of a sudden it pops up on Xbox Live Arcade and it's an HD version and it's amazing. Trials, the entire Trials series from 2000 to 2008, 2009 was a huge phenomenon, at least in my generation, going into school. Growing up around with everybody, because extreme sports was a big fad 2000 to 2005. So bringing that, the motorcycle trials experience, doing the flips and, basically maneuvering your motorcycle throughout the entire course to get from point A to point B. That was a huge hit. And that also inspired a lot of other online browser-based games. Heck, if I don't remember the game, but there was this one game back in the early teens, mid-teens, where all the YouTubers were playing it. It was just basically get from point A to point B, custom made maps by the community that you could play all these weird, wacky characters. You could be a guy on a wheelchair, a father with his kid on the back of the bike. It was just wild. It really spawned off a lot of just crazy point A to point B kind of games. And it just showed that in this generation, in the Gen Y, there was a huge, demand for that kind of gaming. Hell impressive.
Okay. Yeah, I do have to agree with Dude. He says I didn't really think to put Trials in a puzzle game. I'm a huge fan of the Trials games. I would never consider them to be a puzzle game, but I do love the Trials games.
Yeah, I never even thought of it either, but I would definitely qualify it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch because of the whole concept of extreme sports stuff, but the very fundamental of it is still a puzzle game.
Yeah, I totally get it. I wouldn't personally classify it as a puzzle game, but I understand it.
Yep, so I haven't played any of them. I definitely played some of the Flash games that are similar.
I didn't even know it was a Flash game. The first time I was introduced to it was Trials HD on Xbox Live Arcade, and I've played it ever since. The only one I haven't played, although I do have it on my backlog to play, is Trials of the Blood Dragon, but I have played all the other ones since Trials HD on Xbox.
Yeah, Trials was that at least on the browser, it was one of the most well-known, well-seen on the major Flash game sites. Mini Clips was one of the most popular back in those days, and helped. It was an aspect of gaming that was very unknown, but it helped move things forward, and it brought a lot of those who made browser-based games, got the attention of a lot of major companies. Trials got attention of Microsoft.
Yeah, Trials, the original Trials HD is the only one that I've gotten all the achievements for, and that is a very proud achievement of mine. I will never get 100% in any of the other ones since they are way more difficult. But curious, out of all the Trials games, which one's your favorite?
Honestly, just HD, honestly, but there's a piece of my heart for the original on the browser classic game.
Never played that one, so. Is it still out there in the ether somewhere to play as a Flash
I'd assume yes, somewhere, because it was very popular and it was probably very well preserved. But just take a little bit of digging. There's probably a few Flash websites that preserve these things these days.
Okay.
I would check Newgrounds, see if it's
does Newgrounds still exist?
Yeah, they have a ton of archives there.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, there we go. You'll find it there.
So I pulled this up on.
My favorite is Trials Fusion. That's my favorite.
Yep, this one and Trials Fusion both came up on Steam, but I wonder why it has a mixed rating. Is it probably has something to do with Ubisoft being the publisher, right, and them doing something dumb with it?
I don't know about on Steam, but maybe there's some sort of anti-cheat on it on PC because I played it on Xbox. It does still have the Uconnect system. It's not too invasive, but
it has de novo.
Oh, there we go.
That's
Why?
probably it right there.
I'm sure these games are all on the 7 Seas somewhere. That does not need to have that.
It does not.
The other thing about it that gave it its charm is a particular, like, it didn't have a robust physics system, which I'm guessing the newer versions of Trials, especially if it's coming from Ubisoft, they want to make this like, heavy-handed physics system with it. It loses somewhat of its charm because it was still a little bit cartoony for back in those days, and it had its own kind of like set physics for it. It changes the game a little bit when it comes to this.
That one that you highlighted, Lois, it was a little too small on the screen to read. What did that one say? Was it basically ranting about the anti-cheat?
It just said bleep you, Ubisoft.
The main issue that I had with it is it's chock full of like loot boxes, which are all cosmetics. They're not required for gameplay at all. I never spent, other than the actual base price of the game, which I'm pretty sure I got on a steep sale. I never spent any money out of pocket. But the fact that they went in, my two issues with it is all the previous ones were basically like a level select in like almost like a Mario style, where you have like, here's a chapter, and all these levels in this chapter essentially all are around a similar theme or in a similar biome. But Trials Rising, the most recent one, you actually have a map of the entire world and it's just dotted with events, so it can be difficult to find the specific events that you need, and figuring out which ones are required to actually like unlock the next tier of missions is a pain in the butt. So my issues with it was the overworld was terrible, and they added a bunch of microtransactions into it, which like I said, it doesn't affect the gameplay at all, but that's why I liked Fusion better. Although, at least on Xbox, Fusion Rising has a higher rating for the community than Fusion does, but I think Fusion's a much better game.
Okay.
So, and Brett's here. What's up, Brett? Saying, oops, I'm late. Apologies. No apologies. Just glad to see you here. So, yeah, Trials Fusion was my favorite. So, and I actually just played. I just played Fusion and Rising just last year for the first time. So I still have more stuff to go back and do in those, although like I said, I'll never get 100% in them, but I do have more stuff that I do need to do in both of those games. And then like I said, I got Trials of the Blood Dragon on the to-do list at some point. So yeah, these are great games. So, all right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and have a lowest with his number 5.
So, tell me if this counts, but Zuma is my number 5.
I haven't played Zuma, but I would definitely, I think of it as a puzzle game. Not exactly my type of puzzle game, but in my book, it definitely counts as a puzzle game. I know that was popular around the same time as Trials HD. That was a popular Xbox Live Arcade game.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now it clicks.
Yeah, I guess it would count because you have like the colored things.
I put this in the kind of the category of like Peggle. It's technically a puzzle game. I don't really consider it a puzzle game, but it definitely still fits the qualifications.
I feel like Peggle's more of a puzzle game than Zuma is, but
really,
I think I guess they both do count if you ask me. I love Zuma though. Zuma and I go back quite a ways, so it's super fun. It's very, very simple concept. You try to match the colors of the balls before they get to the whatever that little sun icon is. Oh, looks like the restream dropped him.
A restream's acting up
Yeah.
already.
Oh, here we go again.
So it's a puzzle tower defense. Is that what you're saying?
It kind of is a tower defense, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yep. Stopping them from getting from point A to point B.
Yep.
Yeah, matching all the colors. Yeah, there's a few times I've seen this, seen arcade version of this, like a big old box arcade. Perhaps not the name Zuma, but yeah. Oh, this is a solid. All the same, this is a solid puzzle game.
And you're just shooting little colored balls and trying to get it in between other balls of the same color, right? And then once you get a certain amount, they disappear.
Yep.
And how many is that?
How many what?
How many balls do you have to match up of the same color to get them to disappear?
Oh, 3.
It's 3.
And so what you try to do, you try to set it up so that you have, like, let's say you're matching up the green balls. You want to have blue balls on both sides of the green, so that way when it disappears, they
You got a
come
combo.
together into a combo.
Chains.
Yeah, chains. And if you get a chain, then the line of balls goes back farther than it normally would, so you'll be able to survive longer.
Okay.
And you get more points, obviously.
Is it like, does it show you like how do you beat a level? Do they just do they just keep coming, or is there only a specific amount?
There's a specific amount.
And does
so
it tell
yeah,
you
once
that?
you I think so.
Or do you just have to like, it's like, geez, when does this level ever end?
No, it looks like it just keeps coming until it stops.
Okay.
So
does it get faster as you get closer to the end, or
Yes.
later in the game?
Oh yeah.
yeah, later levels get way faster.
Okay.
So it can get really tough.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it's very hectic.
Yeah. It nails down one of the very fundamental things of good puzzle gaming in the digital world, where there is a pacing that needs to be upkept so that you survive the levels. There's a lot of games that do that great, and it's one of those things that continues to hook people and keeps bringing them back. It's that level of tension that's always there, and that excitement is so enjoyable for a lot of folks. That's
That
what I
is-
love.
Yeah, that could be not for me. I like my puzzle games slow pace, give me time to think and figure out, oh, this needs to go here and this needs to go here. There's no punishment for taking my time. That's my kind of puzzle game.
Okay, so you're like escape room simulator with no time limit kind of guy.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So, okay. So, are there, is this a franchise, or is there still just the one Zuma game, or have there been a bunch of Zuma games? I know this has been around like a long time.
So it's made by PopCap, the same people that made Peggle.
Yep.
So it's been dead. It's been a dead franchise for a long time, unfortunately. I don't know. I think this is the only one on Steam.
On Steam, just the one. Oh, Zuma's Revenge.
What's Zuma's Revenge? I've actually never heard of this one.
Oh,
but yeah, it looks like another one.
Zuma game. So
this one came out in 2009. The other Zuma came out in 2006, and that might be it.
Just those two games from nearly 20 years ago.
And it's owned by EA, so we'll never see it again.
Oh, that's right. They are owned by EA.
Go.
I forgot about that. Sorry to hear that. For you Zuma fans, not much hope for getting another one. That seems like a very easy concept to do. I would think that there'd be a lot of Zuma clones out there.
Probably.
Okay. But there may not be. Like, me, I always rant about how few first-person Metroidvanias we have. It's like basically since Metroid Prime 3, it's been nearly 20 years. We have basically 0 Metroid Prime clones. Why don't we have Metroid Prime clones? But we're not going to get into that because I talk about that on almost every stream.
Brett says he thinks there's a mobile one under EA rather than PopCap, which wouldn't surprise me.
That would make sense.
I would have never heard of it. So
yeah, Brett says, hard agree, Neo. Rising feels so much lamer. Yeah, talking about Trials. I'm definitely biased because Fusion was a childhood game. I didn't actually play it until last year. Well, I played most of it last year. I had started it a couple years ago, but I didn't actually put any decent amount of time into it till last year, and it was really good. So, dude said my mom played this game. I think talking about Zuma. Brett at Zuma, gotta love it. Yeah, classic PopCaps. Yeah, PVZ. I know that was a popular one. That's when I still have to go back. I have to get the achievement for surviving the 40 waves of Endless. So, Luxor is. Oh, I've heard of Luxor. So thank you, dude. Dude mentions Luxor is a Zuma clone.
I did play that. That one's it's very similar to Zuma, but I don't think I played it a lot.
Okay. So, all right.
He also says 2 Zuma games on mobile, and both are made by nobodies with AI app covers.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Brilliant.
So, all right. Anything else about Zuma?
Oh, all's good.
All right. So that'll leave me for my number 5. And this is also a recent one. I just played this. I panic played this one before it left Game Pass back in September. So it was very recent. And I've talked about it a couple of times on a number of streams. And it's a rather short game, but this game was just kind of blew me away with just like how like outside the box the thinking had to be for this one. And this is like right up my alley for the type of puzzle game. And that was Cocoon. So for anyone who hasn't played Cocoon, I did talk about it both in my last open mic, talking about all the games that I played in 2025. And I think on my another stream that I did recently. So there's no dialogue in the game, not spoken or like text. It doesn't tell you anything. You just like wake up and you are in control of a character with no explanation of anything, and you just go. And it's very simplistic because basically all you do is move, and you have like A for the interact button, or whatever your equivalent button is on non-Xbox controllers. But you're like this little moth creature, and as you can see, it's like an isometric view. And how the layout of the game is there's basically like 3 worlds, or is it 4? There are 4 colored orbs, so I think there's 4 worlds in the game. And how it works is that each world is composed of like kind of 2 parts. There's like the first part where you have to like solve the first half of the world, and then you get that then you like come outside of that world, and that world you were just in is inside this orb that you can carry around and drop off. And then let's see here. I only played it once. I can't even play it anymore because I don't have access to it. But I may pick it up eventually to own it myself someday because it was really good. But in addition to each of these 4 orbs that are different colors, so you have like green, orange, white, and purple. Once you beat that world and you come outside of that world, each one of those orbs has a different like function. I don't remember which orb does what function, but like the white one, I remember shoots a little laser, and you use that to solve puzzles. And then the green one, I think, allows you to raise and lower platforms. And then the orange one reveals invisible platforms, and I can't remember what the purple one does, but so you go through each of these worlds, and then once you beat it, you come out of it, and then you have these orbs that you can carry around, and you can go back into them. And there's a bunch of puzzles inside of each world, and you have to use some of the orbs to solve puzzles. And you're also like, you have to like teleport them around to the map to get where they need to go. And sometimes you have to take an orb inside of another orb. So when I've mentioned a few times, this is almost like Inception, the game, because you literally have worlds inside of worlds inside of worlds, and it gets like super deep. And there were a couple puzzles I'm like, I have no idea what to do here. I had to look up a solution for 1 or 2 of them, and I looked it up. I'm like, I would never in a million years figure out how to do that. So the puzzles were great, and it's like multi-tier level thinking. It's like really outside the box. So it was. And it's a rather short game. It's only like 5 to 6 hour completion. So it's a pretty short one. So it's not a big time investment. So if you like puzzle games and really like outside the box thinking, I cannot recommend Cocoon enough. This was a great game, and I really enjoyed it. And talking about it again makes me want to go back and play it again. And since even though I only played it a couple months ago, I'm still so vague on it. It'd almost be like playing through it again for the first time if I played it again. So yeah, really great puzzle game with some really esoteric thinking, I guess would be a good way of saying it. So I really enjoyed Cocoon. I don't remember. I'd have to pull it up here and see what I gave it. But mad props to Cocoon for being, like this kind of like surprise sleeper. I don't even know if I could say a sleeper hit, since it didn't really get a lot of recognition from community. I did see it get mentioned on a lot of people's lists of like maybe like surprise best games of the year that people, kind of slept on. Did it come out last year as well? Or does that say 2023?
2023. Also, it won Best Debut Indie at the Game Awards.
Okay. So it's a little bit older than I thought it was. Maybe it might have been that it didn't come to Xbox until last year, or I don't remember. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend giving Cocoon a shot. It was great, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, either of you guys played it, or did you even know about this game?
Unfortunately, I have not played it. Did hear of it. Haven't dabbled much into it about it, but it looks really nice. I think like what really catches people's eye, at least for me, is the visuals of it, the artistry. It brings in that that indie style of I guess it would be kind of like a cell shade, where it's like a minimalist art design, but it's still like it pops and it's very striking for an individual. It still catches the eye. And on top of that, with even just the simplicities of what you would see from like Monkey Island and all these older exploration games, where the visual environments are just as impressive as the puzzles that you're boggling your head on, is a nice combination that you see that is rare out of video games, out of puzzle games in the genre, and it's always good to see one stand out. Kudos to them.
Yeah, Reddit makes a good point. I didn't think about that, but he says looking at this now kind of reminds me of Journey. I have Journey. I have not played Journey yet, but the art style I would definitely agree is very similar to
Yep.
Journey, and I know that's a very pretty game, and the art direction of this game is also very good. I really like the art style, and it's very colorful, and just all around. I don't remember much of the music of the game, so I can't really speak on the music. But the puzzle aspects and the art style were fantastic.
Yeah, this was September 2023. That was actually the first month I started doing my RNG series, but I completely missed this game and I didn't hear about it until like probably November or so, because that probably was when it was announced announced to be a nomination for the Game Awards. I think that was the first time I heard about it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was wrong. It did launch on Xbox as well in 2023. But it's an Annapurna published game, which is probably why I was on Game Pass, because a lot of Annapurna games come to Game Pass. So, but yeah, that was a good one. And I definitely recommend, if you're into puzzle games and thinking puzzle games, I think you'll enjoy it. I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, I would probably play this. So here we go.
So Reddit says, I'm a sucker for super vibrant games like this, noting it. Well, if you play it, I will be interested to hear what you think about it. So, all right. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to our number 4s. So, let's see here. You know what? I think I'll go ahead and kick off our number 4s, because in the vein of bright and colorful, this might also be right up your alley, Reddit, because I was looking through, as I mentioned, like 4 and 5 were the ones that I wasn't sure what I was going to do when I started my list. So I created a list of a lot of the puzzle games that I played and really enjoyed, and then looked through and did some thinking. A lot of these games I haven't played in a really long time, so I went and looked up some playthrough on YouTube just to kind of refresh my memory on them. And when I rewatched this game today, I was like, I really want to replay that game, because this was also one that I played on Game Pass and is no longer on Game Pass, so I don't have access to it. But I do want to buy it at some point, because I do want to play it again. And it's a bright and colorful, beautiful art style. And that is Rime, R-I-M-E. Here, before I talk about it, have either of you heard of Rime?
It's ringing a bell. It is certainly ringing a bell.
So,
Whoops, I was muted. Yeah, I played it.
Oh, you have played it. Okay. So I was rewatching a playthrough of it today to refresh my memory. I'm like, this is such a great game. So to describe it, the art style is almost identical to like Zelda Wind Waker. It's got a very colorful, bright, cel-shaded aesthetic. It's a very pretty world. It has an excellent soundtrack. The music is gorgeous. You're on this you're basically this kid that washes up on shore of this beautiful, like, tropical, not even a tropical island. It seems like if this place actually exists in the real world, it's like a Mediterranean island is the vibe I get. But it's a very pretty island, and the gameplay, though, is basically if you were to take a Tomb Raider game but take out all the combat and you just had the puzzling elements. It's got the platforming and puzzling elements of moving blocks, and there's also some other I don't know what the term for it is, but some more like not necessarily physics puzzling, but it has some things where you have to like line up things to make certain things appear, or you have to line up two things that make like an outline of like a door frame, and then the door opens. So it's got some of that puzzling in it as well.
Okay.
So like I said, I played this one on Game Pass and I really enjoyed it. Also a rather short game. I'd say it's longer than Cocoon, though. Let's see what the estimation, because Cocoon on True Achievement says 4 to 5 hours, although my time was almost 10 hours. But yeah, Rime says 8 to 10 hours, and looks like it took me about 19 hours. But yeah, both of these, Rime or Cocoon I played last year. Rime I played back in 2019, so it's been a little while. But looking back, like I said, I watched a playthrough, kind of jumped through sections of the game on watching a playthrough today to refresh my memory. I'm like, God, this was a really beautiful game, and it makes me want to go back and play it again. So Rime is very similar, to Cocoon in that it's got a very pretty art style. It is a third person. Like I said, it plays like Tomb Raider with just the puzzling aspects without the combat. It's, you're following in a sort of, not necessarily over the shoulder, but a third person perspective. And it's got another kind of subplot to the game. And that isn't specific to this game, but there's a lot of other games that do this as well, where it's like you have ancient civilizations, but they were actually built by ancient disappeared super advanced races. So it's basically like magic, but it's just technology that's more advanced but it looks like magic.
Yeah.
Another great example of it is all of the, I forget what the race is called, but in the Assassin's Creed games, you have Juno and I forget what their race is called, but
I've been a while too, but what you're talking about, those super beings that
they've got super technology, but it's hidden in stuff that looks old, but it's all bright and colorful.
Technology is so advanced it looks like magic. If you the Myst series makes me think of the Myst series, Myst Riven, all of that. They did that very well. It was all this huge wonder that this urge that you want to keep going and discover what's out there in this. And you can just see it with lowest expectation screen of it. The visuals, there's a sense of wonder, how are these things built? It kind of it entices you, another hook, wanting you to move forward and want to discover things. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, so any time the game has that, this game looks like it takes place in ancient times, but it's got cool technology and stuff that lights up and it makes it all bright and colorful. I just love that through line on any game that that uses that in his game. So this is another one of those games where it's got cool technology under the hood of what looks like just to be a building, but it's actually some sort of ancient super device or something. So it's a very cute, cozy game as well. I see you got this cute fox friend. There's a bunch of cute pigs that you use to solve puzzles. You got a lot of box moving and alignment puzzles, and so another one I definitely recommend if this looks at all interesting to you. Go give it a look. I looked it up. I think I added it to my Steam wish list because I originally played it on Xbox. So how I play it again, I want to be able to get achievements for it again. So I want to play it on a different platform. So I added it to my Steam wish list today. It's $30 full price if I remember correctly. Is that what that says there, Lowest? It looks like it's are you muted? It looks like it says 30, but I can't quite tell.
Oh, yep, I was muted again.
Okay. But I looked up on Steam DB to see what its lowest price was, and the lowest price I think was $2 or $3. So next time it goes on sale for $2 or $3, I'm absolutely going to pick it up because I would love to play it. Like I said, it was 7 years ago that I played this game, and I would love to play through it again. So
yep, do it. Speaking of sales, Zuma was 99 cents. Just saying.
Zuma's on sale right now for 99 cents.
Yep.
Very nice.
Solid.
So Brett says Rhyme looked neat, but never neat enough to take a purchase from me. Yeah, for $30, that's tough, but for $2 or $3, that's a steal. So keep an eye on it.
I have it physically on PS4.
Oh, I didn't know it got a physical release.
Yeah, it did. And I think it was $30 as well. So that was worth it.
It does have a physical on Xbox as well, which is surprising because Xbox usually is games often get physical releases on PlayStation and Switch, but not on Xbox. But it does have a physical on Xbox, so good to know. So.
Oh yeah, and also you bringing up this game reminded me of some other games that I should have had on my list, but don't. So I might have to redo my list now, if that's okay.
But yeah, this is, speaking of, as Brett mentioned on my previous game, looks like Journey. This one looks probably even more like Journey than the last one. So, yeah, great game, and I look forward to playing through it again at some point. And just a little heads up: at the end of the stream, I have a list of puzzle games that I have not played yet that I'm looking forward to play. So I'll be asking you if you have any puzzle games that you haven't played yet that you're looking forward to as well. So
That sounds good.
All right. Lois, what about you? What's your number 4?
Well, this will be one of my last minute additions, I guess.
Oh, you switching it up on the fly, pulling an audible?
Yeah, because you bringing up Rhyme reminded me of the game that it was inspired by. I think it was inspired by, at least.
Okay.
And that is Ico.
Oh, I was just thinking that the entire time.
I know of it, but
I
have not
added it to
played
my list as well while he was talking about it.
Okay,
Yep.
I understand why this could have been inspired by it. Absolutely.
And
so tell us about Ico.
Well, that never came to mind when thinking of this list, like, at all, for some reason, even though it's 100% a puzzle game.
Because Ico is the predecessor to Shadow of the Colossus, right?
Shadow of the Colossus, which is my number 4.
Developers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Shadow of the Colossus is your number 4.
Yes.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I've never played it though, because it was a PlayStation exclusive, I think, which I've never had. So I will play it at some point.
It is still a PlayStation exclusive, unfortunately. But so it is. Tell us about it. If you have a PlayStation, it's one of the games that's worth getting. All right,
it's a PS2 game, right?
Yes. PS2 originally, yes, and it was re-released on both PS3 and PS4.
Okay. Can you play it on PS4?
The PS4 version is the remaster, so you can play it on PS5 via backwards compatibility.
Okay. I know the PlayStation's weird about backwards compatibility, so I was just curious.
I think for the most part, almost most PS4 games will work on PS5. So you just plop the disc in and it should just work.
Okay.
But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is like... It's kind of painful only having it at number 4, but there's really strong contenders on this list.
I've never.
But yeah, it's because
I can consider it as a puzzle game, but it makes sense.
I consider like a masterpiece game. It's one of those games that like it just sticks with you and you don't forget, and it has an amazing soundtrack. The puzzle aspect. So what it is
yeah. Tell us about the game a little bit.
You play as this guy who his girlfriend is like dead or something, and he brings her to this like forbidden land, and in order to revive her, he has to at the behest of some being that he's speaking to, he has to go out and destroy the 16 colossi. And basically it's the whole game is you fighting these colossi, and they're basically boss fights, but each boss feels like a puzzle. Or it is a puzzle in its own, trying to figure out where its weak spot is, how to get to it, and how to take it down. So,
and that's basically the whole game. It's almost like a boss gauntlet, right? There's not really much to the game besides that.
Yeah, the only thing you do in between is go from A to B.
Yeah. So it's not a terribly long game, I would assume.
No, it's not very long.
I heard that there was plans to be like way more colossi in the game, but they had to cut it down, probably, I think, because of development time. Do you know anything about that?
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything about that myself, but I wouldn't be surprised. That game was quite the phenomenon when it came out, and it pushed the bar when it came to like the console itself. For if I remember correctly. Plus,
on PS2, the game runs like garbage. It's like 15 frames a second, like most of the game, from what I remember. It's really bad, but
okay, I just pulled it up, and originally there was planned to be 48 colossi, and they turned it down.
That's crazy.
Would have made a lot of happy players for sure. But yeah, what made that game fascinating? It wasn't heavy-handed with the puzzle aspects of it, but the puzzles were so crucial to beating the game in the first place. And it was just so fundamental in it. Yeah, that's what makes it a great puzzle game. But yeah, what really hooked it, kept it stuck on people, was that story and the visual representation, how it was visually presented to everybody. You really didn't see there wasn't much talking, there wasn't much like exploration or more context into a lot of things. You were just there for few simple purposes, and just the visual aspects of seeing this small little guy, David versus Goliath stuff. That's like biblical level stuff. It just really it captivated a lot of folks. It's a reason why it got a lot of awards when it was launched.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual environmental storytelling, and I would also describe it as a tactile storytelling because of the way there's like a fatigue system. Like if you hold on to a certain spot too long, or if
Oh,
you
so it's
use
like
up
Breath
too
of
much,
the Wild.
kind of. So if you use too much energy, like doing your thing, you'll fall off, and you'll get hurt a lot if you fall off.
Yeah, those colossi are huge.
Oh yeah.
So, and also from what I've heard in list videos, it has a bit of a plot twist ending.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which we don't need to get into here. You can play the game and find out yourself.
yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
one
won't
game
even-
I would never want to spoil that game for somebody.
So, and dude says that the PS3 version is just a remaster of the PS2 version. Also says that Ico and Shadow of the Colossus are supported on retro achievements. Very nice. And October Mike is here. What's up, October Mike? Good to see you, buddy.
Yo.
He says, hey, you guys, hope everyone is doing well. We are. Unfortunately, Jason is not doing well, which is why he's not here tonight. He's not feeling great. And yeah, Brett says, oh, yeah, I forgot Ico existed, and I need to try that.
And yeah, speaking of
on
which,
my
I believe
PS4.
there's another upcoming game from the same guys. It's I believe it's The Last Guardian.
Yes.
It was shown in a few trailers up over the last few years.
Is that game not out? I thought that game
It's out.
It might be out.
It came out on PS4.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
are.
like that's
Oh
game came
wow,
out a while ago.
that long ago. My mistake. Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people
2016.
didn't like that game, but I
no.
did. I liked it a lot.
That's the one with Trico, right? The big
Yep.
cat bird dog thing.
Yep.
I've seen that one on a bunch of list videos because the AI of Trico, it does not always do what you want him to do.
Oh, that's.
But yeah,
Oh, dude.
basically that studio, they got their trinity is Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and then Last Guardian.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, if you can't even get your fundamental companion AI right for the game, that's just downhill from there. Oh boy.
So I have an argument against that actually. So this monster thing, he's not supposed to do exactly what you want him to do because you can't communicate with him. You just kind of gesture towards him and you're trying to guide him basically, and he's like a giant baby basically. So if he just did everything that you want the first time, every time, it would kind of, I don't know, break my suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, because
So,
he's like a
sometimes-
giant pet, so he may not listen to you.
Yeah, he's like a
Never mind
giant
his
pet.
own.
He's not a giant like slave, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't played it, so I'm just going what I've heard. But yeah,
Okay, well,
There's
yeah, if
there is definitely some jank though. So like there are some times where he should be doing what you're directing him to do, but he doesn't. So there are some times where it feels like the game is broken in some parts. On my playthrough though, I didn't have a lot of issues with that. So
okay.
I don't know. People are just playing it wrong. Skill issue.
So Brett says, Last Guardian, isn't that been out for a decade? Almost. It'll turn 10 at the end of this year in December, so it's been out a while. So,
That's
and October
crazy.
Mike says, who is Jason? Jason is my co-host on Top 5. I think this is only the second episode he's missed. He's been on more episodes than I have. So, but yeah, that's my co-host who's almost on here more than I am. But after this, we might be tied for how many episodes we've missed because. Yeah, so that's who Jason is. So, all right. Oh, and I forgot to mention, dude mentioned that Luxor 2 is why his gamer score is not divisible by 5. My gamer score was not divisible by 5 for many, many, many years because of Ghost Recon Advanced for Warfighter. But the game I'm currently playing has a bunch of weird numbered achievements. So once I finish it tonight, I should be back to a 5 because I've gotten a couple other achievements in other games that evened it out. So, all right, let's see here. Before we go to John, I'll go ahead and give Jason's number 4. And this is a game that I have on my to-do list. There's 2 of them, and I've started the second one. And I've just get the first achievement, so I've not put more than like a couple of minutes into it, but I'm looking forward to playing, and it looks like a really great VR game from what I hear. And that is Super Hot. So I've played the one that I'm planning on playing is Super Hot Mind Control Delete, which I believe is the second one, but it's just more of the same gameplay. And I do know how this game plays, and it's really cool. It's a first-person shooter, but things only move when you move. So when you're standing still, time is frozen, but when you move forward, everything moves. So you can really plan out your movements. And you can you shoot, you have weapons, you can throw stuff. And as you can see, all the enemies are like glass silhouettes characters, and they like shatter into pieces when you get them. So the concept of the game is really cool. And this looks like, I know this game is in VR, and this game looks like a fantastic VR game. I would love to play it in VR if I had VR. Yeah, so this is Jason's number 4. Again, I haven't played it. I could talk about it more if I had played more of the one that I am planning on playing, and maybe if I like that one enough, I'll go back and play the original one. But I don't think that there's any through line of story for this game, but I don't know because I haven't played it. So, but yeah, really cool looking game. I heard someone one time talk about it's like a John Wick simulator, which yeah,
it's a good way to put it.
It's probably the closest thing we've gotten to an actual John Wick game. But yeah, it's a really cool. I love the concept of the game. I'm looking forward to playing this at some point, and putting some time into it and actually beat the story at least, if not get all the achievements. We'll see how it is. But curious if either you guys have played either of the Super Hot games.
I have not.
I've seen enough people watch it. The most memorable thing that I've seen out of it is the super hot right at the end of every level. It's fascinating, but it really is like just throwing you into scenarios that you have to solve yourself. And yeah, it's a John Wick game. It's how can you be as John Wick as you can possibly be in this scenario? Go. And so yeah, that's it. Grab your environment and stuff. And it's just good, solid puzzle. I wouldn't have at first glance. I wouldn't have put this on a list of puzzle games because it is it's a tense first person shooter, but it still has a lot of fundamental aspects of what makes a puzzle game. The level system, it throwing you into scenario that you have to basically unwind or unravel in a short amount of time or else you're dead. It's good. It's solid, a great game. And it's
Jason's I don't remember when, but Jason has brought up Super Hot on previous top 5s before. And that was one of the things he mentioned was like the Super Hot that it says like at the beginning and the end of each level. It's very,
it's one of those love it or hate it situations. It was like
kind of burrows its a brain worm.
There we go.
So, and Brett says Super Hot was so inventive. Love its gimmick. There's a lot of games that reference it. So, the moment I saw it, I'm like, that's really intriguing. I love the concept. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. So, looking forward to giving it a shot at some point. And I didn't even consider this game as a puzzle game, but as soon as I saw it in his list, I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely makes sense. So it's not like a puzzle game in the traditional sense, but it definitely, like you said, John, it has a lot of heavy puzzle elements in that, you can plan out your moves and stuff because time only moves when you move. So
yeah, it's for a lot of puzzles, find the difference in the two pictures, or it throws you a problem that you need to solve, which is essentially what you throw a Rubik's Cube at somebody, that's essentially what it is. You're unraveling it to get all the colors in the right place. Boom, there we go. That's exactly what this kind of thing is. And it kind of goes over people's heads a lot, that kind of puzzle game, but that fundamentally is what it is.
Yeah. So, all right. So that is, so Super Hot was Jason's number 4. So I guess that leaves us with John for his number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 comes way back in the 90s. So I don't think you'll be finding it on Steam. It came out on the PlayStation in 97. People will recognize it most often if they picked up a demo disc for the PlayStation. It was one of the most popular ones on those lists. Intelligent Cube. If you take a look at it, you'll see it. Most people who were big fan or played on a PlayStation will recognize the game. It is very dark, simple, square block bridge that you have to go across, where you have these rows of blocks ahead of you, where you basically run around as this little character trying to set up these little IQ. That's it. Intelligent Cube with a Q instead of the cube.
It's funny that you put this on your list because I had never heard of it until a couple months ago. Someone knew that I'm a fan of puzzle games, and they mentioned this game to me. And I know because I looked it up on Retro Achievements. It does have Retro Achievements, so it might have been Dude that told me about it. But yeah, I haven't played it, but it was put on my radar, so I know that the game exists as of recently. So that's kind of funny that it's on your list. So tell us a little bit more about how the puzzles work in this game.
Well, essentially, it is like the most bare minimum. Like it strips so much of like what you see in a lot of these other games, puzzle games down just to the puzzle itself. You're an individual just put into this world. You have no idea what's going on, why it's about, what the purpose is. All you see is these rows of blocks that you're standing on and a rows of blocks ahead of you that are slowly rolling their way towards you. What you have to do is you move yourself into a position to highlight, tag particular tiles on the floor. And once the blocks that are rolling towards you hit those tiles, you can trigger them to cause openings within those blocks, allowing you to pass on through. The objective of the game is mainly to get past the blocks by opening them up, using the tiles as basically like landmine kind of thing. That's the easiest way for it to explain to people. Landmine it, trigger it when you need to. That creates a chain reaction as well based on what blocks you're blowing up. And so through that, you can create combos, maximize your amount of points till you get a point of a perfect, which is basically destroying all the blocks in that section onward until the next one. And if so long you keep progressing forward, the game just does not stop. There are 100 handcrafted levels to this game. And once you get to the end, it is just like, all right, you're good. You're done. And it's so what I found so fascinating about it. Like for me, I didn't actually get my hands on it as a kid. It was way later on in life that I was able to fully play it. But when I was a kid, I had a demo disc that had it, and playing that was always it was one of those major hooks that just like it's scary. There was this tense of dread that was going on because if you failed, your character would fall off into the abyss of blackness. So for a little kid like that, for somebody to see their character in a game play like that, it kind of like hits a little harder than for an adult. So it just always hung on to me growing up as a game that I've always wanted to actually get my hands on and play. But it was just so fascinating. In Europe, the game is also known as Kurushi, but the fundamentals of this was just so amazing that it was really just the simple basics of a puzzle game with the tension of speed, having to keep up this pace of trying to survive, getting around through all these puzzles and abstract issues that you have to go on through in order to get to the next step. And it was this really awesome, like an allegory or analogy of like life itself, where you have to, it's all about, really, when you boil it all down, it's all about survival and solving the problems ahead of you every step forward. Every level is a harder puzzle, and it gets more complicated, and it gets a little faster, and it's more ruthless again. It's less forgiving, but you have to get through it if you want to survive and win. And it was just it kind of like, that kind of thing hung on to me all my life. And like, just it was about 8-10 years ago that I got my hands on it. I just on a browser version of it, just finding it online, play retro games. But it was I was so happy to play it and just, be able to beat it. It was kind of like off the bucket list of games I wanted to play. But yeah, sorry. And there has been a few sequels that had come out later on. The second one had it was originally just a 1-player game. The second one, if I remember correctly, came out with a 2-player. They had a third one, but unfortunately, like what I was talking about, that boiled down to the very fundamental. They kind of removed that. They started adding more of like the music was a kind of like a weird like differentness to it. There was a very somber, melancholy kind of thing, but still a little progressive forward. Now that they start throwing in jazz and just like pop upbeat music with it too, it lost its value of what made it really special and set itself apart from all the other games that were out there as puzzle games. Yeah, but blah 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 blah. I can go on for a good while for this one.
No worries. The music thing, I think the direction they took the music, actually, that sounds more interesting to me because
jazz of all things. It's weird. A lot of like game developers, there's this issue that goes on from time to time. Like we see it from game trailers, commercials, and such like that, where they try to pick up onto the current thing of pop culture and try to like just wedge it right into their content and such. Like if I remember, the more recent one would be like if you guys remember a Mortal Kombat trailer where they threw in the heavy drill rap stuff to it. It was just so off kilter.
I don't remember it, but like the music, but I do remember that being a big point of contention. They did the same thing with the Doom Eternal trailer, and they threw this like mumble rap in. It's like, this is Doom. It should be heavy, hardcore metal music. Why are we having rap in this
Where's
trailer?
Mick Gordon?
It's garbage.
Where the fuck's Mick Gordon? You're not playing Mick Gordon. This is supposed to be Mick Gordon. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
That Mortal Kombat one was at E3 a while back, if I remember correctly.
You're absolutely right. Yep. Sent me sideways when I heard it.
So,
yeah, that was the issue with it, that they tried to wedge in this like current pop culture, which at the time, if I remember, like late 90s, early aughts, you had like Shakira, Christina Aguilera, you know, had they like this, it had to be like this exotic pop music, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. But when you mention jazz, I like jazz. So
yeah. Oh, well, it was all the same. The fundamentals of Intelligent Cube stayed the same and continuing on, but it's still a good game for sure. The first one was really the real hitter because it was so captivating and so like out of nowhere. It was a surprise, unique, stood itself apart because it was so dark, as well as like just, you know, I would say, well, maybe not dark would not be the right choice of words, but very like solemn.
Okay.
Humbling.
Gotcha.
Somber. Yeah, somber would be a good one.
Okay. While you were talking there, it made me think of another game that I think might be on Lois' list. So I've got two in my head that I think might be on his list. So we'll see if they are, but I'm not going to spoil what those are until later. All right. Intelligent Cube. Yeah. So I'm almost positive it was Dude that told me about it. So I will play it at some point. I don't know when that'll be, but it's interesting that I'd never heard of it until just a couple months ago. And now you're mentioned as one of your favorites. So awesome. Can I interest you in some light jazz? Yes, you can. Love some light jazz. Like a weird implementation of jazz music that really worked was in Ninja Gaiden 4 when you're in the store. Those little like pop-up kiosks. The music in the store is like this jazz music, which it's great and it works. It's weird because it's like most of the music in the game is, I wouldn't say as metal as like as Doom, but it's still pretty rocking music. And then you get to this like cool jazz music in the store. It's like, oh, this music is freaking great.
Yes, I remember it's like a hybrid, like metal with a dash of synth rather than with the unique sound of doom metal or argent metal. That's the particular name that people like to use for it.
Argent metal. That's a good term. I love
fitting.
it.
It's so fitting.
Speaking of Doom, my good buddy's in chat. He's a big fan of Doom as well. I know James would probably think so, but does Super Seducer count as a puzzle game? That's a good question. I would say no, but I haven't played it, so I just know going off reputation. I mean, you're trying to figure out the right things to say and not get rejected. The argument could be made. Oh, what's up, Rozzy?
On the topic of jazz, the first two Trails in the Sky games, the music is rooted in jazz.
Okay. And
that's all.
I know you're a fan of that franchise. Are those first two Trials games? Those are the ones that are those ones, because you talk about it so much. Those ones are like the best ones.
For sure. If you're looking for something easier to get your hands on, that's not like, you know, flash gaming, go for Trials HD, of course. But for me, I was mainly on the browser games for that.
This is it's funny because this is the often confused because he is talking about Trails, but you're talking about
Trails
Trials
in the Sky. Yeah, trail. Okay, yep. My mistake. No, I've never. Sorry about that.
That's why anytime
I heard Trials. Yeah,
whenever Trails,
the pronunciation.
Up, I'm a big fan of the Trials games, but I'm not a fan of the Trails games because I'm not a fan of JRPGs. Yeah. But
I'm a big. Hey, Final Fantasy VII was like a good portion of my childhood. I credit that game for the reason why I was always able to stay in the honor rolls for English class, all from elementary to high school. JRPG series are awesome. I do need to play the Trails in the Sky, but it's just JRPGs, you need to commit so much time to those. Like you're looking at about
Typically,
40
yeah.
to 80 hours just to play a single playthrough of those games.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Lois,
not just 40 to 80 hours. There's also 13 of them,
yeah, he's
and
well
they're all
versed.
part of like a continuous story.
He's well versed in the franchise and just the JRPGs in general. So, but
Yeah.
Lois, the first 2 Trails games, those are the ones that are like the best ones, or are they all? Because you talked about Trails
No,
just recently on Top 5 2025 games, didn't you?
I did, because the Trails in the Sky remake came out last year.
Yeah, that's of the first one, right?
Yeah, it's a remake of the first one. And honestly, the first one, if we put the remake aside, the first one's actually one of the worst ones in the series.
Oh,
Just because there's not a whole lot that happens, and it's kind of tedious. Because like, it's the game, it's trying to set up this whole universe and all that. So it's kind of like a giant welcome tour, basically, is what the game's story kind of boils down to. And then the only interesting things start happening in the last chapter.
okay.
It's my favorite. Okay, so there's the Trails in the Sky trilogy. My 2 favorite games in the series, the second and third one, especially the third one, those are my favorites.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
But the third game, we were talking about it being rooted in jazz. The third game is not rooted in jazz. It's actually quite different.
Okay.
It's more rooted in, like, I would say 60s like psychedelic music, which is an interesting
change of
shift. Yeah.
pace. So
Joplin, got it.
the music in the, even though the first one you say is actually one of the worst, the music in it is good though.
Yes, the music in every game is good.
Okay, cool. That's kind of what I was getting towards. So
Jazz is always good. There's a lot of good jazz, a lot of great games that have used jazz. Expedition, talking to RPGs, Expedition 33. But yeah, there is a particular time and place for them. Japanese do love their jazz. Give them that.
Oh yeah.
Tor Mike says lowest background being Wheel of Fortune reminds me of the South Park episode where Randy literally says the N-word. That is one of the greatest greatest moments of South Park history.
Like
people
his
who
hands are
annoy
always
you. He's like, all right, you're running out of time. Says the word, and the dude pokes his head out from behind the camera. He's like, did you seriously just say that? Oh my god, that scene is the best. So, yeah. Well, we mentioned at the top, but since Lois is usually displaying the games that we're talking about as we're talking about them, he is our Vanna White. So, all right. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to our number 3s. So, let's see here. Let's go with Lois. You want to kick off our number 3?
Yeah, let's see if my number 3 is one of the ones you were thinking of.
All right.
It's a Tetris game.
Okay. I wasn't thinking of a Tetris game. I was thinking of a Tetris-like game.
Ah, okay. So Tetris and I go way back, obviously. For one of the first games I ever played on the Game Boy. And my mom was a big fan of Tetris as well. So she was way better at it than I was. But yep, fast forward to more recently, we've had like 2 of the best Tetris games come out in recent years, that being Tetris 99 and the one that is my number 3, Tetris Effect.
Tetris Effect. I know of both of those games, but I have not played either one of them. I think the last Tetris I played might have been the original Tetris on Game Boy. I didn't own it.
That's crazy.
But one of back in high school when we went on away games for soccer, one of the guys on our team, he had 2 Game Boys, 2 copies of Tetris, and a link cable. So he'd bring both of them, and we'd always play against him. And obviously, he's the one with the game. He would cream us at it. But oh
yeah, I remember doing a little bit of link cabling with Tetris.
I think that's the only time I've ever link cabled anything across any of the old handheld systems was original Game Boy Tetris Versus. So tell us a little bit about what makes Tetris Effect so great.
Because it's visually, it's a amazing masterpiece, basically. It's like I think the people that made this also made the game Rez, I think.
Yep.
And then also they might have also worked on the what is that game on PS3? Child of Eden, I think, as well.
Yep, that game too.
So yeah,
You're
when you're playing
almost
this,
to the game that I thought it was going to be on your list, because they also did the
Oh,
game that
really?
I'm thinking of, and I believe it just came out last year as well.
you're talking about Luminous Arise.
Yes.
Oh,
I
these
have
guys.
not played. I have not played that yet.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought that was going to be on your list.
No,
Considering
I
the visual
want
effects, makes so much sense. Yeah, I see it
Yeah.
now.
I want to play it. I want to wait and see if they make a physical version for PS5 first, though. So I
Okay.
haven't. I was gonna get it on Steam, but I decided not to. Just to wait and see if that comes out.
Okay. So back Tetris Effect, though. What makes this such a great Tetris game? Like, is there anything different about it? Like, does it play differently than original Tetris, or like what's different?
For the most part, no. Like when you're playing the main mode, it's just going through a series of stages, and the speed of the game shifts every now and then based on which part of the song you're on. So the music has like a really integral part to the gameplay. The tempo of the song often correlates with the speed of the game, and it can sometimes go to speed level 15 just out of nowhere, which is kind of nuts.
I'm assuming that's
But-
really fast.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if you remember on the original Game Boy version, 9 was the highest speed.
Okay.
So 15 is even faster than that.
And well, assuming that it keeps the same, like it's linear progression, and it's not like
Yeah.
they may, because you could fit the speed of what was 9 into 15 separate difficulties essentially, but assuming they kept the same spacing.
Basically the level 9 speed in Tetris Effect is basically the same as the level 9 in the Game Boy version.
Okay, that's the kind
And
of the
then
baseline that I was
Yeah,
trying
the
to
15 is like the highest in
That's-
the main mode, but there is a separate mode that can go even higher than that.
That's nuts.
But unlike the original versions of Tetris, this game is actually very generous on letting you continue to move once the block touches down, so you can like keep moving around, and you get a bit of leeway with that. But
Okay.
on that specific mode where I think it goes up to like 30, you have like no time whatsoever. You have to know where you're putting it before it even comes out.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
like
really
we-
crazy. So
Like we said
this-
earlier, puzzle games that put you on a timer are not my type of puzzle games.
Can't handle
yeah,
the
it's
pressure,
it's
huh?
super fun though. Like if you want to get good at Tetris, this is like the best game to go to right now, I think, because of how many different modes and how many different modes there are, which give you tons of different ways to beat the game. Like there's one that gives you like objectives. Like you can only your score is only based on your combo count. So a combo being you clear one line and the very next block you clear another line. How many times in a row can you keep that going? The more you do that, the higher your score is. Or that's one example. I'm kind of blanking on what the others are because I haven't done it in a while, but
Yeah,
that
there's
one's
a few
my
other-
favorite.
This is like the quintessential like Tetris game. Like I don't think I've ever heard anyone who's a fan of Tetris say anything about this game.
Yeah,
This is Tetris Effect connected, right?
this one is. I actually don't
Okay.
have this version. I only have the original version.
Oh, what's the difference?
Well, if I-
Connected adds multiplayer, I think, and then they added a bunch of other new modes as well.
Okay, so this
It's the
is
version
a
I have.
connected. I didn't even realize there was a Tetris Effect connected. So if you were going to recommend someone, you would say connected because it has more to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same game with more, basically.
Okay. And how much is it full price? Is that 40?
$40, yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming it probably goes on on sale.
Yeah, there
occasionally.
from time to time it does. It's also with the multiplayer stuff. Every single weekend they have particular events that go on to double XP, and there's a level up system where you can score yourself based on the world. There's a leaderboard system and everything. The variety of levels, and plus the very fundamental of the levels themselves, where you're listening to the music. That which is a grand aspect of this game as well, because all the visuals on it, they all correspond with the music that's playing with it as well. and all of the music is just very, very unique, and it is a bit of an acquired taste. I'll give it that. It's more of the "We Are the World" kind of music, where it's like you go across the globe, and it's not like non-offensive, but very it culturally significant kind of music. You hear the music, you'll know what kind of part of the world it's about. It, I love it. It's a great game. Solid. I've got over 20 hours into it myself just for this one. I can't I wouldn't can't recommend it enough for anybody who wants to pick up a Tetris game. Because you could just pick it up and play a game as many times, just like anywhere else. Just
Oh,
like Tetris has always been. Pick it up, play 5-15 minutes. That's all you need.
Great
Go
to
ahead.
play in short bursts. Yeah, absolutely. So I pulled it up here on Steam DB, and its lowest has been 50% off for $20. And over the last 2 years, it looks like it's been on sale like 15 times. So it looks like it goes on sale a lot. So if you're looking to pick it up, wait for the next sale. It'll probably be $20. So excellent.
yeah.
So,
Cool thing about it though, like
oh.
when you're moving the blocks around, the sounds also they're not one to one each time. Each time you move, it actually, if you do it off beat, the sound will play like on beat. So there's a little bit of, if you're playing like, if you're focusing on the audio, it takes a little bit to get used to sometimes, because there's sometimes it sounds like there's a delay, but what it's doing is it's moving to the music with the each time you move the blocks. So like all the things that you do are also the sound effects of everything you're doing, moving the blocks, clearing the blocks. That's all part of the music as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know that this
Better
studio has their like music is like their thing. Like integrating the music with the gameplay is like what they're known for. So, all right. Before we get off the topic, Jason's number 3 was also Tetris Effect.
Perfect.
So,
well, I might as well just make a little switch around. My Tetris Effect was number 2 for me.
All right, so you're gonna.
So I'll make that 3 and
three.
make 3 to 2.
All right, so I'm the only one who doesn't have Tetris as their number 3. So all right. Spoiler alert. All right. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to say about Tetris Effect while we're on the topic? All right.
I'm good.
So, dude said even Team Fortress 2 likes its jazz. I haven't played enough of it, so I wouldn't be able to say. But
all the trailers. Bear now. Yeah, it's all of it's very jazz.
Okay, I know that there are like. That's one thing it's one of those things that kind of confused me. It's like there's all these like character trailers of the characters in Team Fortress 2, but the little bit that I played, I never saw any of that. Is that in the game?
Oh yeah, I couldn't say if they were in the game, but the trailers, the character trailers, are highly recommend. Like the rookie or whatever his name is, the scout.
The scout.
Yeah, he's the best one.
Those videos are great, but I never saw any of them in the actual game. I just saw them like online. It's like, why isn't this stuff in the game? Maybe it wasn't. I just didn't find it. So, but Brett's saying Tetris 99 represent my goat. So he's a big fan of Tetris 99. He's got 250 hours in Tetris 99. Very nice.
I've got 80 hours into Tetris 99, but the darnest thing, they kind of lock people out who don't pay for Nintendo Plus. So I stopped playing it. Picked up Tetris Effect.
Curious, Brett, in Tetris 99, since it's the Battle Royale one, do you have any first place wins? And if so, how many? That would be impressive because you'd have to be really good to pull out a win on that game.
Highest I've ever gotten was 16th.
That's pretty good. So even
I've got a lot of first place in 99, but it's also because I played it a lot.
Nice. And he says even fought LE on 99 and lost. I don't know what
that's
that
me.
means. Oh, lowest expectations on. Oh, so you guys have played against each other. Gotcha.
Yeah, there was a stream I did. I did a stream of can I get a Tetris 99 before my video premieres in 1 hour, and that was kind of a disaster.
Okay. Oh, Brett says he's got 2 dubskis, two wins on Tetris 99. Very, very impressive. Very nice.
I got a 98th place in one of the games that I played on stream because, of course,
you were the second person to get eliminated.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that just happens because I don't know what it is or how it works, but there's like some. It feels like there's people cheating, but they're not. It's the way the game works, because like there's a handicap for some people, I think, or like some sort of randomness to it, or maybe it feels like some people are getting a head start because of the lag or whatever. I don't know
always
what
chalked
it
it
is,
up
but
to an RNG poor luck of the draw because everybody picked this particular individual. You know, there was you can choose like one of four to where you sent your crap to. And I think like a lot of people would pick the similar one, and because it was all at the same time, RNG would pick one or a few particular individuals, and yep, they get it. They get the poor end of the stick.
Well, the weird thing though is that if you're getting targeted by like tons of people at once, it gives you a lot more power. So it wasn't that. It's when you get targeted by one person that's just either so crazy good that they just stack up a ton on you like immediately,
Okay.
or because when you're only being targeted by one person, it's way harder to fight back.
Yeah, Reddit says 99's target system is awkward. You can really get screwed instantly.
Yeah.
So
I'll trust your judgment on it.
And he also said the Tetris Effect is to Tetris what Pac-Man Championship is to Pac-Man. I've heard good things about that one. Never played that one either. So, all right. Well, then I guess that leaves it with me since I'm the only one who doesn't have Tetris Effect as their number 3. And so my number 3 is I had to put this on here somewhere, absolutely, because those who know me, Metroidvania is my favorite genre, and there is a puzzle Metroidvania, and it's like that's got to go on my list. And it is one, as I mentioned just earlier in the stream, how we have so few first-person Metroidvanias. This is one of the few ones. And that is Supraland, Supraland. So Supraland is a first-person puzzling Metroidvania, and it's in the vein of like Grounded. You're just little itty-bitty thing in like a regular-sized world. So the whole game world is like someone's backyard. And you are just, and all the other characters that are in the world are basically, like toys that a kid that is playing with, essentially. And so it's a puzzling Metroidvania. There is a little bit of combat. Not the combat is definitely more prevalent later in the game, but I feel like the game would have been better if they just took the combat out of it because it's not great. But it does have combat. It does have a couple of bosses in it. And the way the combat works is you have to it's almost, for anyone who played Unreal Tournament back in the day, it's like the shock rifle where you hit your alternate fire to shoot like this big ball, and then you use your primary fire. And if you can shoot it, it detonates and does a big explosion. That's basically, you don't have a gun that shoots like bullets or anything. You have this almost like the portal gun from Portal, but it has a bunch of different functions. And one of the functions is you have to like shoot one thing and then shoot it with your other shot and detonate it in order to do damage. So you have to line it up and time it so that it blows up and hits the enemies while you're moving. It's the combat is really awkward. So I wish they just didn't have combat in it at all. It would have been a little bit better of a game. But you get like I said, you have this gun that it's not like a bullet gun. Allows you to reach new areas and stuff, and you get a bunch of additional functions onto the gun that allow you to progress through the world and explore. It's been a while since I played it, but you get a bunch of different functions that allow you to solve new types of puzzles, and it also doubles as movement abilities that allow you to progress through the worlds. That's where the Metroidvania element comes in. So I played it once. I did panic play it before it left Game Pass, and then it has 2 stacks. So I played the Xbox stack, and it also has a Windows stack. So I picked that one up at some point. So I'll be playing it again for achievements on the Windows version. So talk about it now. I didn't have it on my to-do list for this year, but I may have to do that this year because I think, you know what? I'm curious here. When did I play it? Because it's been long enough. It does have a sequel called Supraland 6 Inches Under, rather than like 6 feet under, and most of the game takes place underground. I think it originally started as a DLC and they spun it off into its own game because it's shorter than the original one, but it is also good. I like the original one better. Let's see here. I played it in May of 21, so it's almost been 5 years since I played it, so I need to play through it again. But yeah, first-person puzzling Metroidvania, inject it right into my veins because those are two genres that I just absolutely love. And like I said, it's one of the few Metroidvanias that is also first person. So if you like Metroidvanias and or puzzle games, this game is like perfect to fill that void. So yeah,
Very nice.
So,
I stuck it on my wish list because this sounds fun.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, it's like I said, it's been so long since I played. I forget what some of the abilities that you get are, so I can't really tell you. It's been a while, but yeah, your gun upgrades are what allow you to solve new puzzles and be, like I said, be able to progress farther into the world and get past obstacles you couldn't get past before. So, all right. So, Buddy Rock said that's how most games that age out go. Unfortunately, ever play Master Chief Collection multiplayer lately? If you aren't a hardcore multiplayer Halo veteran, you get rocked hard by XMLG pros. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you got to hit the ground running with that stuff now.
Yeah, I was talking about the Tetris 99 sort of thing. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly what Brett said. As the player base has shrunk, the skill floors sadly go up because the only people who still play it are the hardcores. You don't have any casuals. So, and Nerd Takes is here. What's up, Nerd Takes? Good to see you, buddy.
The weird thing is, though, that thing I was describing where people just stack up a ton on you like immediately, that's been happening since the game came out.
Oh, fun.
Just the way it is sometimes.
I always chalk that up to a case of bad luck.
Yeah.
All right. So
I can't help but feel like there's some sort of rubber banding going on. That's the term I was looking for, is rubber banding.
Oh, I hate rubber banding. That's most prevalent in racing games, of course, but I despise rubber banding.
So. Yeah, but I can't confirm, unfortunately.
It
just feels that way.
So, all right. Well, with that, that one was a little bit shorter since three of you guys had the same number. So we'll go ahead and move on to our number twos. And John, since you kind of flip-flop there a little bit, let's go ahead and start with you and find out what your number two is now that 2 and 3 switch places.
Yeah, it was 2 and 3 were, well, it was very tight because honestly, they both come from the same designer, Alexei Pajitnov. And it's what was one of his later iterations in the mid 2000s when he's fully established. He's got his Tetris company. He's working with Microsoft. His last game that had come out, Hexic HD, had come out on the Xbox Live Arcade, if I remember correctly.
It came pre-installed on basically every 360.
Yep. And it was kind of like semi-mandatory. It was just very worth it.
I don't even know if you could buy the game. It's just because it was on every Xbox. I don't even think it was on the store.
Maybe not. Probably not. You could probably find other iterations outside of Xbox, or maybe
I think
like
it
Xbox
is now,
Store or something like that. Yeah,
but at the time, I don't think you could buy it because it was just already on every Xbox.
Exclusive, and it was just so simple, straightforward, kind of a Bejeweled style where it was in hexes, 3 colors, put them together, different forms of combinations. If you take out 3, the gap gets filled in. You can cause a chain reaction through that, get more points, build it up, and it was just a very, very simple, straightforward game. But it was like, how did Tetris become so popular? It is exactly that. Just a very simple concept and design that people, from young kids to old adults, can get into, and everybody enjoy, and for all of them to enjoy equally. I could not mention Tetris without bringing up Hexic as well, because this was like
a good one.
This is his last big grand finale of like games he personally would design.
It definitely falls in the category of easy to learn, hard to master, because this game is, or at least if you want to get all the achievements, it's very difficult. So I still have 2 achievements left, and I don't know if I ever will get them because, so as you said, there's hex-shaped gems essentially all over the board, and how it works is you rotate them, and if they match up with any other 2 of the same color, then they disappear, and But if you can surround any piece with all of the same color, that one will turn into a star. Then if you can get it so that you have 6 stars around one piece, it'll turn that piece into a black pearl. And I created the last 2 achievements I have is for getting a cluster where you get 3 black pearls together, and I've gotten 3 pearls created, but I wasn't able to get them into one cluster.
Yeah.
And then the final achievement is to get 6 black pearls and surround one piece with it. And that one is ridiculously hard. So those are the 2 achievements I have left. And I don't think I will ever do that. Yeah. Create a black pearl cluster and then a black pearl flower where you get 6 of them all around one single piece. I don't think I'll ever get those. But that is a very great puzzle game. Very easy to learn, very difficult to master. But yeah, I'm glad that got mentioned. So, we got some spam in chat. We're gonna put
lovely
timeout, and we're also gonna delete those. So, Lois, have you ever played Hexic?
I'm gonna be the odd one out. I've never even heard of this.
You never heard of it? Okay. Well, you weren't much of an Xbox guy, right?
No, I never had a 360. So
yeah, this one came, as far as I know, back in the day, this came pre-installed on every Xbox 360. So, as Dude mentioned, everyone has Uno. Not everyone had Uno, but everyone had Hexic. Whether you actually played it or not is a different story. But yeah, everyone had a 360 back then. Had Hexic. So
I think it's weird that I'd never heard of this before because I didn't have a 360, but I've played on several of them, and I should have seen it at some point, but I guess not. I guess just everyone's 360 that I played on, none of them played the game or they uninstalled it or something. I don't know.
That's probably, I was about to say, if you got it secondhand, everybody might have uninstalled it because it was still a simple puzzle game that even, it's unfortunate. A lot of people that our age at the time, teenagers and stuff, 99% of the time they're going to look at a game like that, the simple puzzle game, and say, no, where's Halo? Where's Gears of War? I want to play one of those games. They're very quick to jump away from that. Fortunately, I had a grandmother who would not allow me to do that whatsoever. In our house, we were mad gamers, major gamers, loved our Ace Combat and Gran Turismo were our competitive ones for the family. But when it came to stuff like platformers and puzzles, grandma was queen. Grandma was the master. Awesome. She always took care of it. She was the only one to 100% Crash Bandicoot 2 in the house.
Holy shnikes, that's impressive.
Yes, she got the gem over on the ice level. How does she do it? I don't know. I just came back from school one day. She has it sitting in her. My goodness, she was incredible. But yeah, and for me, the source of my love for puzzle games comes from her. She was a huge Hexic fan. She was a huge Tetris fan. Anything that was Bejeweled was her bread and butter all the way to the grave. She always played these ones, always had a fascination for them. And just, why? Because they were always a problem that were able to be solved in her hands at all times. Because for her, she grew up with the Second World War. She was a nurse and had a lot of things go on in her life. And it was just she always had puzzles with her. It was always something that she would always forever be able to control and unravel and solve on her own. And that kind of got passed down to me. And it was just kind of fascinating to hear her talk about her fascination for watching her light up like a Christmas tree, talking about her favorite games. It just kind of engaged me to want to play with her, play the games alongside her and enjoy them. And it just kind of, bless her soul, helped me carry. I was able to carry that throughout my to this day, and hopefully to my kids as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, and anyone in my family, like the previous generation, my parents and my grandparents, they would have no idea how to hold a controller, much less actually play. So when I hear about people who played video games with their parents or their grandparents, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was blessed to have a great grandmother who was who wanted to have as much fun with the family as she saw us having with Dad. So it was good.
So yeah. So let's see here. Reddit mentioned that he thinks that later models of the 360 came without Hexic, which is I believe is true because I pulled it up here and it does say that it's free on the store. because back then, since it was just pre-installed on every Xbox, I'd never deleted it because I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to get it back because I couldn't find it on the store. So they have since added to the store, and it's free. So if you have an Xbox, and it's backwards compatible, so you can play it on any Xbox except for the original Xbox. You should be able to go and download and play it right now. So, yeah, and Brett said, I was expecting you to bring up Hatris when you said that. I just Googled that because I've never even heard of it, but it looks like it's, I don't know, it looks almost like a chess game, but
Never heard of Wurtris, though? Have you ever heard of Wurtris?
No, I haven't heard of that one either.
Yeah, there's a lot of Trisses out there.
I think I've heard of Hatris, but I don't remember what it is.
So Brett says, Granny served in World War II and 100% to Crash 2? What the? Well,
yeah.
What's okay? Because you said like.
Oh no, I didn't say she grew up in the
that era.
She grew up in that era, post-war era. She grew up as born in 38. So definitely not the husband. That on the other hand, he was 16 when he went at the time, and hey, I'm 18. I can work a mechanic. I've been working on machines all the time. Let me work on the planes. Okay, here you go.
Awesome.
What's the Royal Air Force?
All right, so let's see here. Hexic HD, yeah, good trip down memory lane. That's finally an overlap with a game that I've actually played.
Sorry,
I haven't played it in a very long time. Let's see here. My last achievement. Oh, dang it! All my achievements in this are unlocked offline, except for my first one, which was in March of 2006. That's actually like right after I got my 360 because I got it in February of 2006. So, all right. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and have Jason give us his number. We're on number 2s, right? Yeah. All right. So Jason's number 2, to the surprise of literally no one who knows his background in fighting games. Anyone want to take a guess at, given he's a fighting game fan, what his favorite puzzle game is?
Oh, I know it, but I just it's a Street Fighter one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
That's it.
Another one I've never played, but I've seen it. I don't really know how it works, but I know you got little chibi versions of the Street Fighter characters, and when you make lines and combos, like you do damage to the other fighter or something like that, from what I've tangentially seen from the game. But that is not surprising at all, since he's a huge fan of Street Fighter. Well, not just Street Fighter, but just fighting games in general. But he does love Street Fighter. That Street Fighter Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo would be in his top 5 puzzle games for sure.
You know what is surprising though?
What is that?
This game is on Steam.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Capcom. I would assume that it's on Steam. Why would you think it is surprising that it is on Steam?
Well, a lot of companies, even Capcom, they don't get a lot of their old niche stuff on there.
Oh, but just because of the age of the game, because it's super old?
Yeah.
So is this a straight port, or is it like an emulator that they
I would say,
wait a minute, this is DLC for Capcom Arcade Second Stadium.
Oh,
okay,
this game is a DLC for another game.
Okay,
yeah, let's see.
So it's just it's a game to add to the an arcade collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
So the game itself isn't available. You have to buy the game that it goes in order to play it.
Okay, so yeah,
it looks like it's an installer.
As an emulator. Yeah, if I remember right, they basically function like an emulator. I don't know,
something like that.
Super
yeah, you
Puzzle
install the Capcom Arcade, and then you get the DLC, and that unlocks the games.
Okay, it looks like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo was originally a PS1 game, and it does have retro achievements. So I think it was also an arcade game. I would assume that, although I don't know which one came first. I know I've seen this game. At least I'm pretty sure I saw this in the arcade, as a kid. But Brett says, only puzzle fighter I know would debatably be Yomi Hustle. Never heard of it. So, yeah. So, sorry, Jason, can't really talk about it more since it doesn't sound like any of us has actually played it, but I do know of it. I just have no idea how it plays.
Sorry, buddy.
So
it is certainly a solid. It was one of the. Just to give it at least some credit, it came at a time where a lot of puzzle games were really a single player experience. not many people
I'd say
were
so.
looking at puzzle games and thinking, okay, 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah.
Or it was more like, who gets the highest score of this. This game
Or who
comes
can
out.
do it faster.
Exactly. But when games like this came out, there was a real direct competitiveness. It was kind of like bringing the worlds of arcade Street Fighter, which was massive at the time, and the simplicity and the casualness of Puzzle League, and kind of try and push them up to bring to the speed of the fighters. The button masher guys. Holy moly! Yeah, that was a smart thing to do for, at least, I guess, genius. Yeah, a little genius to do that.
Yeah,
Good
for
spin.
sure. So, all right. Let's see here. I guess I'll go ahead and go next, and Lois can finish off our number 2. So my number 1 and number 2 are probably not going to be a surprise to anyone who's listening to my channel, except this one I don't talk about all that much. My number 1 I mentioned quite frequently, so it's a pretty normie pick, but it's fantastic. But number 2 is a game that I mentioned fairly often enough, and I just replayed it again like a month ago, the anniversary edition. And it was just like comfort game almost. I haven't played it in a very long time, but anyways, it is a puzzle platformer, and there's a strong time travel mechanic in it, which was mind blowing. It was one of the early Xbox Live Arcade games, and that is Braid. So Braid, I love this game so much. Anytime puzzle games get brought up, I often bring this game up. And I remember when this first got announced for Xbox Live Arcade, I wanted to play it so bad, but because I'm patient and frugal, I waited. I don't know how. You know what? Let's see here. Because at the time, every Xbox Live Arcade game was either $5 or $10. I believe this was the first Xbox Live Arcade game that was $15. I'm like, I'm not paying $15 for that. So I was like, I'll wait for it to go on sale. Let's see here. It launched in August of 2008. I started playing it in January of 2009. So I waited about 4 months, and it didn't go on sale. I didn't give it enough time, and I was like, fine, I'll break down and I'll do it. And I bought it for the full $15. And it's definitely worth $15 because this game is so great. I did pick up the anniversary edition, which came out last year after it went on a decent, it was on a good sale. So I bought it for cheap. But the anniversary edition, I didn't know this ahead of time, but they actually added like an additional new world. There's almost like a director's commentary sort of thing, but they integrated it into the game. So I don't remember if you have to beat the game to unlock it, but you go into this area, because how the story is told in the game is there's just like these little books, and you stand in front of it, opens, and it shows above your head what the book is saying. So there's books like littered across each of the worlds, kind of telling the story. And this like 7th world that they added is just a crap load of these books. They're like everywhere, and it gives you a lot of background into the development of the game, and like what the dev team was like thinking, how they came up with puzzles and what went into making the game and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I didn't go and read all of it, but there is still puzzles that need to be solved in the 7th world in order to get this new ending to the game and get the final achievement, which wasn't in the original one. So it's kind of cool how they integrated this like developer's commentary with an additional world of puzzles. But yeah, so there were 5 worlds, and each world has a different like time gimmick essentially to it. So like the first world is just like puzzle platforming, but you can't technically die, because whenever you die, the game freezes and you just hit X to rewind. And so you can rewind at any time. So like the second world, the gimmick is that there are, because when you rewind, everything rewinds with you. But in the second world, there are some enemies or like clouds or platforms or stuff that are moving, and they're highlighted in green. But when you rewind, those ones don't rewind. They still keep going at the same speed that they were going, but everything else rewinds. Then there was, I could be getting what gimmick is associated with which world, but in one of the worlds, it's like super hot, where time moves forward when you move to the right, and when you move left, time moves backwards. So you don't actually control it by pushing the rewind button. you control it. Although you can rewind because you can still die, and then you just rewind back to before you died. But whenever you move to the right, everything moves in forward in time, but then when you're standing still, everything's frozen, and when you move back, move to the left, everything moves in reverse. So that was another cool gimmick. The final world has the gimmick of that one is that when you go and do something and then you rewind, your character rewinds, but then you leave like a shadow clone of yourself that does whatever you did before you rewind. So you it's almost like a 2-player co-op where you're controlling one person at a time, and you have to like plan out, all right, I'm going to go and jump on this thing's head so that I can rewind, and then it'll bounce, and then I can jump off of it again and get higher to reach a ledge that I couldn't reach before. So it has just the puzzling mechanics are freaking great. This when time travel is done right, I think it enhances the game. This is one of, if not the best time travel game. That's why we talked about on Party Chat not that long ago, because we were talking about time travel games, and I brought up Braid. It's a beautiful, like, it legitimately looks like an art painting. The art style is fantastic. It's got good music. The music is very atmospheric and goes well with the art style. And it, surprisingly enough, it has one of those plot twist endings that I don't want to give away, but anyone who knows anything about it probably knows what it is. I actually just brought it up on the last episode of Party Chat because of one of the topics we talked about, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because it kind of spoils it. But it has a great plot twist ending as well. So, and it's rather short. The only achievement I don't have now in both the original Xbox Live Arcade version from 2008 and the Anniversary Edition is they both have the same speedrun achievement for beating the game in under 45 minutes. I will do it at some point. I just haven't done it yet. Back in the day, I did try to get that one a couple times, and I think I got my best time to like 52 minutes. So I got close, but I do plan to get that and finish off both versions of the game and get 100%. But yeah, it's a rather short game, and the puzzle mechanics are just fantastic. I love it. It's the epitome of a video game is a piece of art. This is just one of those games that absolutely qualifies as art in my book for like every aspect of the game. So curious for either of you guys if either of you have played Braid.
Unfortunately, I have not. But yeah, I could see based on your top 5. I'm thinking of Cocoon. I could start seeing what kind of ballpark you prefer when it comes to your puzzle games for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Brett says, poor Braid. All it's known for now is Soulja Boy calling it pointless. I've never heard of Braid in relation to Soulja Boy ever, so I must have missed that one.
Nobody cares what Soulja Boy has to say anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
even less significant than he really is.
I've actually known about this game for quite a while, and it's been thoroughly spoiled for me. So
okay. It's still a great game.
I don't know if I'll ever play it.
It's short. I definitely recommend it. It's short, and it's got great puzzle elements.
It's definitely going to be low on my priority list, but yeah. I would play it if it hadn't been spoiled for me. So, like, I know the twist ending. I know the twist of the entire story and all that. So
the story is not the highlight of the game, anyways. It's the puzzles, in my opinion. So even if you know the story, you won't be as surprised at the end of the game, but you'll still get just everything else out of the game, in my opinion, because that's the best part of the game is the puzzle elements and solving the puzzles.
It's hard. For me, it's hard to get motivated to play a game or to continue a game if I've been spoiled. I've actually 2 very famous games that I stopped playing because I got spoiled was Final Fantasy VI and this one will hurt too, Chrono Trigger.
Ah, damn it. Curses on the assholes who did that to you.
It is partially my own fault, but still.
That was
partial.
The other thing I was going to say is shortly.
This was a long time ago, though. So
let's see here. I'm going to see because this was August of 2008. The thing that annoyed the crap out of me at the time was that's way too soon. 360 version. There it is. A similar puzzle platformer came out. So like I said, Braid came out in 2008. Limbo came out in 2010, so not that much longer. And it's a very similar puzzle platformer, and that one got praised to high heavens. Braid is better than Limbo in every single aspect. It pisses me off that Limbo got so much attention and Braid got so little, because Limbo has basically no music. It has basically no art. It's different colors and shades of black and gray. It does have some decent puzzling mechanics, but there's no time travel. It's just pushing blocks and climbing ladders and ropes and stuff, with nothing wrong with that. It's just the puzzle elements of Braid are drastically better. The Braid has way better music.
And Restream was just like, nope, shut him up right now.
Disagreed with you.
The Restream does not like my take on Braid. So literally every single aspect is far superior in Braid than it is in Limbo, but Limbo got all the attention. That always drove me nuts. I have beaten all 3 stacks of Limbo, and it has an achievement for beating it with taking less than 5 deaths. That was a pain. But once I got it down, I'm like, I'm going to, I did the 360 version, the Xbox One version, and the Windows version, and I did everything except for that achievement. And then I came back a couple years later before it left Game Pass, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I learned it, and then I did it on all 3 versions to finish them all within like a day or two. But yeah, Braid is far superior to Limbo in every aspect, and it pisses me off that everyone praised Limbo to high heaven, and Braid didn't get anywhere near as much recognition when it was a far superior game.
I have a theory on why Limbo is more popular, and it's because it was on, I think it originally released on 360, right?
It did release on 360. I don't know if that was the only platform it released on at the time.
Well, I think a lot of the younger audience on 360 latched onto Limbo.
Let's see here.
Because they thought it was like a spooky game.
It
went semi-viral among younger audiences.
Could be
minimalist, dark.
The Zoomers.
Okay, yep. Yeah. It looks like the Xbox Live Arcade release was the original release, and then it was ported to other stuff later.
Late aughts, 2010. That was like, I'm trying to remember a lot of games that came out that were like kind of like viral phenomenons for its time. Fear, Condemned. I'm thinking like a lot of these like dark horror games where it's like little spooky, little scary stuff to it. There's a menacing threat going on. That was a time for its era.
I actually just started Fear last October.
Oh, that's finish it. What are you playing it on GOG?
Yeah.
Okay, smart. It's highly recommended. I played it last year. Recommended from one of my chatters, and they, hella good. First one's hella good. I would recommend going the Pegasus route. Do the other games, because it splits off. You got games that were made of the original, and then after they were bought out, it's a bit of a complicated story of that. But you'll see there's Fear 2, Fear 3, the original like Warner Brothers stuff, and then there's the originals of, I think it was the Pegasus Protocol, and another one like it. It's all within the same original Fear 1 genre, game mechanic, game engine, and everything. Just sequels to it, split stories, different directions of creative directions. Sorry, we got it off track. Fear's a good game.
I know of Fear, but given that I don't really do spooky stuff, I played the demo and I was like, nope, I'm out. But I didn't know it had a split like the Pegasus. What's it called? Pegasus?
I think it's the Pegasus. I'd have to look it up because it's been a very long time. But
I've never heard of that before.
Give me a minute. What is it? Fear games. Pegasus Protocol or I'll check it up. But but like I was saying with those games at that time, I guess like Limbo was primed to become viral amongst the people who were already popularizing Fear and stuff like Condemned as well. Heck, even the gaming media scene at the time were pretty high strung about horror and shock content too, so I'm watching a little kid kind of trying to run for his life. That's it's unique. It does set itself apart amongst other games, especially when you have games who are like outright refusal. You can't harm children or anything like that.
Oh,
if I'm remembering it correctly.
Yeah, Limbo, you die in some very gruesome ways, and you're just this little kid, just like in Braid. Braid, you look like a little kid, but I don't.
Not
think
to spoil anything. Not to spoil anything. If I remember Limbo right, it gets way out there. It gets
Story-wise,
really-
it does, yeah. But yeah, Limbo, it's like unless you really know what you're doing, you're gonna die in some very terrible ways, and it's kind of comical. I liked Inside far more than I liked Limbo. That was a much better one because that's
Finally
the
got
same
it.
studio that did Limbo.
Okay. Yeah. The quick back to Fear. It's the original one. There was Fear, First Encounter, and then there was Extraction Point, Perseus Mandate. Those are the ones that Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate. Those are the ones that were the split off.
Okay.
If I remember right, yeah. Warner
Right.
Brothers took the story, made Fear 2, Project Origin, and Fear 3, which was a jumbled mess in and of itself. And then you got the other ones that stay more close to the original story's design. Doesn't go as far as 2 and 3 went.
Okay.
Far more contained of a story.
Did not know there was a split in those games, so good to know. All right, Lowest, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is a game that I'm admittedly kind of a fanboy of. This was a Super Nintendo game.
Oh, not what I okay.
Oh,
Not where I thought you were going with that. Maybe it's your number 1. We'll see.
Well,
The one that
maybe.
I'm thinking of.
But my number 2 is Tetris Attack,
Oh, Tetris Attack.
which is also known as Panel de Pon in Japan.
Oh, is that
I know the bone.
is that the one that
Yeah.
Reddit mentioned earlier? No,
No.
that's Puyo Tetris.
Oh, Puyo Puyo is something else. I actually hate that
okay.
game.
I don't know what that is. So, all right. So, Tetris Attack on Super Nintendo. What makes that Tetris game unique?
It's actually not a Tetris game. The reason why they changed the name to Tetris Attack was just for marketing reasons.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pulling up here
so-
on Retro Achievements, and it has Yoshi as the thumbnail.
Yeah, they added Yoshi to the game. Here, I'm trying to pull this up
Oh,
because I have a stream of it.
oh my god. Oh my god.
And what?
Core memory unlocked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is a game,
I
a lot of
remember
people
this game.
forget about this one.
It's because they know more about the other game that uses the same stuff than just a different skin.
So, the one you're looking at here, though, this is like the one that was in Japan only. This was released. It was supposed to be for the N64 and ended up releasing in a collection for the GameCube.
Okay, I was like, this
So-
looks more like an N64 game than a Super Nintendo game.
Yep, that's what you're looking at right now. That's the only one I've played on stream, so that's why it's here.
Oh, this is your stream
But-
that we're looking at?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's basically the exact same game as the Super Nintendo one as well.
Okay.
I think the only thing they added was like a 3D mode where you can like rotate. So you can see there's 6 blocks across. In the rotate mode, there's like 18 maybe, and it like rotates on an axis, so it's kind of weird looking. The first game that had that was Pokemon Puzzle League on the N64, which is the exact same series, exact same gameplay. It just has the Pokemon anime.
That's what
skin-
dude said in
skin over
chat.
it.
He says, I played Tetris Attack as Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yep.
So same game, different skin, essentially.
Basically, yeah. You can pick up any of the games that, regardless of the skin, and they all play the same. They're all super fun. I love them all.
It doesn't read right. It's my number 1.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to
No,
spoil
spoil it
it.
I had to spoil it. It's like it blew my mind. Seeing it right there is like Tetris Attack. Did I? Nope. Oh my god, it's the exact same game. It's just but no, it's just the saying is I would highly I never played this, but I cannot recommend this enough because it is literally the same game with a different skin.
Okay. So the one that we're looking at here on stream, this is what did you say this was from the collection?
the collection on GameCube, and this was originally supposed to be an N64 game.
Okay, and because the one on Super Nintendo, it's all like Super Nintendo skimmed with like Shy
Yeah.
Guys and Lakitu and Yoshi's, but that's not the
In
same version we're looking at
in the
here.
American version only. The American version's the only one that has the Yoshi stuff in it. The original Japanese one is all like these little fairy characters that you see here.
Okay, so and it looks like it's matching just 3 identical colors.
Yep. You match 3. The more you match, the better it is.
Okay,
Pretty
yeah,
simple.
so you can match more than 3 at a time, but once you match 3 of a color, then they disappear.
Yep. It's super easy to play, but pretty hard to master.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. If you want like the super hardcore one, you get Planet Puzzle League on the Nintendo DS. That one has like the hardest CPU enemies in it and stuff like that. And you also use the stylus and the touch screen to move the blocks around on the DS. So it actually, you can do so much faster, and it's crazy. I love that one too.
Planet Puzzle League, that also has a retro achievement set as well.
Biggest problem with Planet Puzzle League is that it has no personality, no character, nothing. It's just very generic looking.
It's just the puzzle element with basically like all the other character to it, like kind of stripped out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it based on this one screenshot I'm looking at. This one that we're looking at here on your window definitely looks like it's got more personality to it.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So, because you said Tetris Attack, that's basically just all of these same games, almost more like the subgenre of Tetris games.
It's not a Tetris game.
Yeah,
it's Tetris-like game.
Well,
falling block puzzle game is what I should say.
Oh, that's it. It's the falling blocks in the column part of it that makes it anywhere near Tetris. But it's like then you get the three matches of like Bejeweled there as well. That's what I've always called it, as a mixture of Bejeweled and Tetris with combat aspects to it, competitive aspects.
So Brett brought up Puyo Puyo earlier. This is actually closer to Puyo Puyo than it is to Tetris.
Okay.
Right.
But it's better than Puyo Puyo. So
dude says Puyo Puyo is pretty much Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So I know of that game, have not played that one either, but the video that we're looking at, your gameplay is on the left and the CPU is on the right, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I was like, given that it keeps going forward, I'm assuming that the character that's winning on the left is you and not you're getting destroyed by the CPU.
Looking at the quick gameplay there, it's a dead giveaway why they looked at this and said, yeah, we can't market this to the West. There's no way they're gonna buy this out West. What you said, they released this with Yoshi and basically putting Nintendo characters on to the face of it instead.
For Super Nintendo for America, right?
Basically, they took everything from Yoshi's Island and put it in the game.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easier than having to make original content or original art for it, huh?
Yeah. So
make it more digestible to the Western audience.
That too, as well. Yeah. Puzzle definitely helped this as well.
The weird thing about it, though, is because they thought that they wouldn't be able to market it without the Yoshi characters, but like on the box art, there's no Yoshi characters at all. So people were actually buying it off the Tetris name and not because of the Yoshi characters. So it's like,
what? This isn't a Tetris game.
It's still
we actually rented it from Blockbuster or whatever because it was a Tetris game, not because of the Yoshi characters. And I think if we had rented it and found out there was all these cute fairy characters and stuff, probably would have been kind of about it at first, but I probably still would have played it.
So Tetris drew you in.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with that. You cannot expect to find success using something else to get it off the shelf. I don't know. That's
weird.
You can use something to draw them in, but it's got to have something else that'll keep you there.
Yeah, I guess. But then you're kind of like treating it like no different than any video lottery machine. you're just like it's the same rules, but you got to add like this thematic stuff to make it flare up. I guess it would. Yeah, some games definitely would need it for sure, but I guess it kind of sucks that puzzle games can't stand on their own with just the their work itself. But it's a video game all the same. There needs to be added something more. Not everything can be like Intelligent Cube, but even that is like they had that veil of like of stress, of need for survival, of like you're in this dark place, like how Catherine was. If you guys remember that game, the anime game, you're climbing up this ladder, going up into a puzzle. The basics are all there, but the whole reason why 99% of the people played the game was for the story and the characters. Oh,
Yeah, my party, Carl, my party chat co-host, he freaking loves that game.
Don't mind me. I'm defeating all my own arguments for years.
So Ariana Floyd is in chat. Good evening, Ariana. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly, dude. Says Carl loves Catherine. He does. He mentions it not all the time, but he brings it up whenever it's appropriate. So Reddit says, I'm so bad at Puyo. My favorite puzzle league is the Animal Crossing puzzle league built into New Leaf. Never played an Animal Crossing game, but all right. So, all right, Tetris Attack. I guess that wraps up our number 2s. So with that, we'll go and get into our honorable mentions before we get to our number 1s. So, John, since you had a bunch of honorable mentions, do you want to go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah, I got a doozy because there's been so many over the past 30 odd years, man, just on good modern gaming alone. Like just thinking on first, like Ico was mentioned before, but one that was an old gem from PC days that came out on the PlayStation with its sequel, the Myst series, like with original Myst, Riven. That was the one I had. That was just a simple first-person exploratory mystery where you would just point and click, just solve little simple puzzles. It was amazing. But not to get it too fat, not to.
I played Myst, the remaster, when it was on Game Pass a couple years ago. That was great. I haven't played Riven yet, but hopefully they remaster Riven. I'd play that one too.
Yeah, I'm the other way around. Played Riven, haven't played Myst. I gotta play the remaster myself. I've heard good things about it. But yeah, with Super Monkey Ball, that was a phenomenon off the GameCube. Everybody had to get their hands on that.
Never played it, but I know it was popular.
Yep. Me as well. My niece played it. Watched her played it. Never grabbed it myself. The Portal series, that obvious classic. I mentioned Catherine earlier on. The one game that came out just a few years ago that was a visually striking, Scoring, a first-person shooter where you had no idea what was going on. It was like you had as many questions as you had ending the game as you did starting the game, if not more. But
I played that before it left Game Pass. I did not like that game.
No, you didn't. It's very melancholy. The story, the entire purpose of it. If you like, for somebody who was a War 40K fan like myself, it was like very part and parcel. Okay, this makes total sense. It's very grim, dark, and melancholy, and there's so much value in the story of it, the significance of it. But the Oddworld series, Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, Munch's Odyssey.
Think about those as puzzle games, but yeah.
Yep. Those are the very fundamentals. Oh, I love the old soundboard from the original game too. That was just one thing that they added in just for giggle. For
there was a dedicated fart button.
It was amazing. But what else here? I got Puzzle Bobble. That was an old classic arcade. Nobody remembers the name, but everybody remembers the baby dinosaur that would sit at the bottom of the screen and would shoot the cannon at the top. It was
I know.
I never played that. I never played that, but I love Bubble Bobble. That was one of my favorite NES games.
Yeah, it was good. It was an alright game. I seen it so often. At the arcades back as a kid and growing up, I had to bring it up. But what else do I have here? Oh, classics. From the DS days, Brain Age. That was a absolute phenomenon. There's so much reverence and respect for that series of games because of what it did and the value it did. Aimed at all ages, and was perfect for all ages. Gotta respect that, man. And of course, the classic Lemmings, the old-fashioned Lemmings. Just letting them all go and trying to get them to survive.
it's similar. I didn't play this game, and it's actually getting shut down. Not well, at least the online component, in not that long. But it's very Lemmings-esque. You ever play Humanity?
Yes. I was taking a
Okay.
look at that game the other day, and
I was, it's not. It was on Game Pass. I was gonna play it, but then it left Game Pass, and I was like, I did get around to playing it, but it looked interesting. It's very Lemmings-esque.
yeah, I did have a good dozen honorable mentions from my list.
Okay, so that's all of them.
Yeah.
All right.
This looks like this is the only Puzzle Bobble on Steam, but it also apparently is not a very good port.
Yeah, I didn't remember what when you said that game. I'm like, I don't know what game that is. But then as soon as you describe this, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what game that is. I never played it myself, but I remember seeing it in arcades.
Also, did you guys know there was a Bubble Bobble game that released last year?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, it's called Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons, I believe. Apparently, it's not very good though.
Okay, probably why I didn't really make any waves.
Yeah.
So,
well, even if it was good, the series is still it's still a niche, like a cult classic more than anything.
Yeah.
You mentioned Monkey Ball earlier. It's funny because I would never consider that a puzzle game, but that's because
either.
When we had Monkey Ball, I never beat the main game. I would pretty much only play the racing mode and the pool mode and all that, like the mini games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. You didn't check the main course.
Yeah, I wasn't too into the main game, but the racing mode was actually super solid. Like it was surprisingly good. They could make a whole game out of that if they wanted, but I don't think they ever did.
Yeah. All right. Lois, do you want to go next, or do you want me to on our honorable mentions?
I can go next.
All right.
I've been adding more to my honorable mentions, like as we've been talking about them, which is kind of funny. So, have you guys heard of Exodus Journey to the Promised Land?
It's like Exodus, yes, but that game's not out yet. I'm very much looking forward to it. But Exodus Journey to the Promised Land, no, I have not heard of that one.
No.
So this was an old NES game about Moses, and it's a puzzle game, and it's actually really solid.
Is it is like a puzzle platformer, or just like a? How does it play?
No, it's like a top-down puzzle game.
Okay.
So, if you've ever played Chip's Challenge on PC,
I love that game. That I didn't write that down, but that's in my honorable mentions.
I would say it's a similar genre to that.
Okay.
Because you can like push stuff and destroy blocks, and there's also enemies in the game that you have to defeat in certain ways. Like, so you have like a shooting ability that he shoots out W, which is supposed to be words, and that will stop the I don't know, the Philistines or whatever, I don't know. But some of them are like immune to that, and you have to like push a boulder on top of them or something like that. So it's kind of silly when you think about it, but it's actually a solid puzzle game, and gets pretty challenging.
Oh, interesting. I found it on Retro Achievements, and it has it listed as an unlicensed game. Huh. But yeah, I see now the one screenshot it has here. That immediately makes me think of Chip's Challenge, which that came pre-installed on a bunch of computers. I never had that on my computer, but some friends that I had, some friends of mine had it on their computer, so I never actually beat it in its entirety. But I loved playing that game.
Yeah, I never beat it either. It gets super hard.
So Exodus, Journey to the Promised Land, unlicensed. Interesting. So, all right.
Next I have Helltaker, which is a free game.
Either.
That's a free game on Steam. Anyone can go play that.
Ooh.
You play as this guy who's going into hell to seduce all the demons.
It's a puzzle game.
Yep. It's a top-down puzzle game as well, but it's really silly. There was a ton of fan art made of all the demon girls.
Oh.
So
this game it reminds me of Slayaway Camp.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, Slayaway Camp is like a little like cutesy, chibi, voxel-based game where you play as like you either play as Jason or like a Jason ripoff, and your goal is to kill all the camp goers. But it's one of those ones where when you hit right, left, up, or down, you go all the way to the end until you hit something, and so you have to navigate through these kind of like mazes to get to the camp goers without like dying. So it looks kind of like that. So this is totally up my alley. Yeah, for a hell demon game, and it has the tag of cute and demons. Seems kind of antithetical to each other, but added.
I would call it a cute game. Yeah, it's free. It's free too, so go
Added
play
it
it.
to my library. So thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Super short as well, so it's not like a big commitment or anything either. I have Ico, The Last Guardian, and Rhyme, which we all talked about earlier.
You did have Rhyme on your list, or did you have that on before I mentioned it?
Nope.
Or okay, once I mentioned it,
I threw it in the honorable mentions. I'll keep Zuma as my number 5 because I still love that game like crazy. So,
okay.
But there was a game that I had that I was going to put as my number 4, not because I think it's better than Zuma, but because I played it way more, and that's Peggle Knights.
Okay.
Fair.
Which I believe is the second one.
You're right. Well, isn't the original name Peggle? Just Peggle? Yeah. That was a classic. Very popular. Like
Very popular.
All I remember is like the horse or unicorn, the face. Or whatever it was.
Yeah, the unicorn.
Yeah, the unicorn.
Kind
of like the game's mascot.
Exactly. Yeah. Solid.
I have Bejeweled in my honorable mentions too. Simple, easy, fun game that anyone can play.
Yep.
Never played it.
Tell me if you guys think this is a puzzle game, Little Nightmares.
When I was making my list, I saw that mentioned many times, and it has the puzzle tag. So I would say yes.
Now, does it lean more platformer or puzzle?
I think it leans more stealth than puzzle, but it still definitely has puzzle elements.
Yeah, it has elements of all sorts of stuff. You have stealth, you have puzzle, you have platformer, you have a walking simulator.
Walking simulator, yeah.
I couldn't give you a fair judgment on it. I actually never played it. Only seen a few clips of the games.
I've beaten the story of the first game. I haven't played the DLC yet, and I have the second one, but haven't played it yet.
Second game, you can also consider it an escort mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you played 3?
No, not yet.
Okay. Are you looking forward to basically the spiritual successor, Reanimal?
Yes. To a degree. So I like Little Nightmares. I don't think they're like super awesome masterpieces or anything. But yeah, I'd play the spiritual successor as well. And I've heard bad things about 3, but
I have too.
I've also heard people say that they like it, so I don't know.
I think one of the main issues is that in 3, like 2 is basically an escort mission because you have another character with you the whole time, and I think you can play it in local co-op, but you can't play it online, or you can only play it online. There's no local co-op. It's one of those two, and it's like this game should obviously have both, and it only has one. So I know that was a big issue with the game. Whether they've patched it in or not at this point, I don't know. But that was the last I heard. Is one of those? It only has one mode of co-op. It doesn't have both.
There's no co-op in 2, is there?
I don't think so.
Because like I'm trying to think, that wouldn't make sense from like a story perspective if there was co-op in 2.
Let's see here. Little Nightmares 2. All the achievements are single player only, so it does not look like it has co-op.
Okay. Right. So my last 2 games are technically not puzzle games, but have heavy puzzle elements. That's Mars First Logistics, which I played last year.
Okay.
And Zelda Oracle of Ages, because that's probably the most puzzle heavy Zelda game ever made.
It's funny because that's the Zelda game I'm playing right now.
Oh, there you go.
So, well, I started it a couple months ago and I took a break, and I decided like this afternoon, it's like I need to get back to it and finish it. So, okay. Yeah, I don't really think of Zelda games as puzzle games, but they do have lots of puzzle elements, so it definitely makes sense. So, all right.
You could really stretch the definition and call Oracle of Ages one giant puzzle game just because of the way the game's laid out.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah, I would want to see where the line's drawn on regards to how and what purposes the puzzle is. And then hold on. Let me rephrase that. At what point does it? At what point is the puzzle the primary goal of the game and the primary mechanic? How distant are you going to be till you start calling it not a puzzle game, if that makes sense? Because the primary focus for a puzzle genre game is the puzzles itself. The reason, like for example, on my list, like Intelligent Cube, the very purpose of the game is the puzzle. It's not the story. It's not the platforming. It's not the lore of what they're trying to the story they're trying to tell, or like the game, the fun mechanics or platforming. It's really about solving the puzzle at hand. Like for games like Myst, Riven, the like puzzle-y games like what we were showing, Tetris Attacks, those the very main purpose and primary goal of those is to play the puzzle and win the puzzle. Whereas a lot of these other games where there's more of the following the story, this puzzles become secondary or just the obstacle rather than the main course of the games. So if so long as we can be clear on that line of what defines a puzzle game, then there's the lines won't be so blurred for folks, or people won't be iffy about it.
If that is the line, then Oracle of Ages is a puzzle game. Because
not saying that it isn't, just saying if if we're gonna say something is or isn't.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna use that metric, then Oracle of Ages is definitely a puzzle game. Because like if you compare it to Oracle of Seasons, for example, Oracle of Seasons it has puzzles in it, but when you're like fighting the bosses and doing all that stuff, it's very combat heavy. Like you're trying to avoid getting hit and getting a lot of hits in. That's like your main objective when you're fighting the bosses. But in Oracle of Ages, when you're fighting the bosses, the main thing you're trying to do is figuring out how to damage them, because it's way more complicated. Every single boss fight has some weird way that you're supposed to take them down. Even the last boss, you don't fight Varian, the main antagonist. You don't fight her in the traditional way that you would any other Zelda boss. But the thing is, though, if we bring the whole, how you can like link the two games together. If you fight Ganon at the end, then it becomes a combat game again. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. The going off John's comment of like, unblurring the line between like puzzle game and other genre. That is an ongoing argument on the internet for the difference between like Metroidvanias and other genres as well. It's like no one can ever decide on what is or isn't. So it's like we basically become like, here's the scale of like, is it very Metroidvania or very light Metroidvania? So because there's some games where people are like, this is Metroidvania. It's like, no, it's not. Like my biggest argument for one that everyone says is, and it is not, is Dead Cells. It's like, it has heavy Metroidvania elements, but the fact that you can't backtrack, you have to restart a run in order to proceed to a different route. In my book, disqualifies it as a Metroidvania, but it has strong Metroidvania elements. So, but that's just me. So, all right. So as for my stupid restream,
there he goes.
Dropping my
thanks restream.
Stop dropping my panelists. So, all right. So as for my honorable mentions, I've got a few here as well. Hue is a puzzle platformer. It looks kind of like Limbo, but you acquire different colors and you use the colors to solve puzzles. That was a good one. I want to play through that one again. Played through it a long time ago. Death Squared. I wanted to put this one on my. What's that? Yes, that is Hue right there. So you switch, you acquire different colors, and then you can switch between all the different colors, and you use that to solve the puzzles, because there may be a blue block in your way, and so you don't have the blue color yet. But once you have the blue color yet, then the rock blends in with the background, and then you can walk through it because the blue rock isn't there anymore. So great color-based puzzle platformer. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they must have given this one out for free at one point, because I have it in my library.
Okay, I played it on Xbox, and it's another one. It's pretty short, but I do want to play through it again at some point. But another one, I ended up with Death Squared because of Games with Gold, and I fell in love with that game. I almost put it in my top 5 because this is a great game, and it's like a 3D isometric, and you control just like these little like cubes with faces, and you can control. I think it's kind of like, it's been a while since I played it, but I'm pretty sure it was like Brothers, where you control both of them at the same time depending on which stick you're using, and so you have to move them around to navigate through these puzzles. Yep, that's it right there. And there was a party mode where instead of controlling 2, you control 4. And that one that's a much shorter mode, but some of those puzzles were just like, that was freaking great. So I definitely love Death Squared and definitely highly recommend it. The Cube games, Cube 1 and 2, they are first-person physics puzzler games. You have these gloves that you use to manipulate different colored blocks, raising and lowering, and use them to shift rooms and stuff. I played them a while ago. I do have both of them have like a 10th anniversary edition, so I'll be playing them again. I don't remember, because I played them originally back to back, so I don't remember which one is which and which one I like better. But if you like one, you'll probably like the other. So Cube 1 and 2, those were great. Very similar to Braid, another 2D puzzle platformer, is The Bridge. And it's another one where it messes with like physics and has things that like wrap around on themselves. And I think it's called Euclidean geometry is the term for stuff that can like paintings that can exist, but you couldn't have this object exist in real life. I believe that's the term for it, is Euclidean geometry. There's a bunch of that in this game where you're like walking on one face of a square, but then all of a sudden you're on the other face of the square without things shifting. So it's a lot of spatial geometry you got to keep track of in your head to figure out like where one route goes from point A to point B, because it's not like a straight line. So and there's a lot of shifting and rotating of the map in order to get things to go where you want. So that was another great one. There's a series of puzzle box games that I have on my iPad. I want to play through them again because they were great, called The Room 1, 2, and 3. And it's just, you get this really complicated puzzle box. You got to figure out how to open it. And it's got all these different like sections and stuff. And there's a number of those games, and those were all really good. And I discovered a very similar set of games just recently. I don't own them, but I do want to play them once I pick them up on a good sale. They were just on sale a couple weeks ago, but right now is not a good time. But called The House of Da Vinci is very similar to these type of games. So I don't know much about them, but I'm very intrigued by The House of Da Vinci. So yeah, Lois is pulling it up right there. That it's a little bit more complex than The Room, but very similar style of puzzle game. Then one I literally just finished yesterday because there was a couple puzzle games I wanted to play that I thought might have made my list. So I was like, let me play through a couple of quick ones and see if they make it on my list. One of them did not make my list, but the other one, it was, I was like, I got to throw out the.
Uh-oh. Roboting a bit, or dying.
Yeah, a bit of a packet loss. 80.
Am I still there?
Yeah.
There you are.
You're back now.
Popped up. It said connection lost. So stupid. That might be my internet. But Viewfinder, and you have a Polaroid camera, and you take pictures.
I know this one.
And then you can place whatever's in that picture in the world, and you use it to like connect. You can take a picture of the ground over here, and then there's a gap over here, and you place the picture there, and it fills in the gap, so you can then reach to the other platform. So it's just like that. That's like one of the first few levels. So you, whatever you take in the picture, it comes into real life. So another really short one. It's only like an 8-hour game. So I finished that one last night or the night before. So I love these type of games where the puzzle games where they're first person and you really got to like really think outside the box, and sometimes like physics aren't exactly what they seem. I love that type of stuff. So Viewfinder, and then there was another one I was planning on playing through that's rather short, but I didn't get to it. So I'll talk about that at the end about games that I want to get to. And then I added Chip's Challenge to my honorable mentions because I never played it in its entirety, but I loved playing that game back in the day. And then I've got a few of these where it's not one specific game, but it's like a subgenre of puzzle games that I freaking love. These is the main one, at least on mobile, is called Free Flow, and it's just connecting colored lines, and you have to fill in the whole square without like overlapping other ones. So you got to connect like the red dots and the blue dots and the green dots. So I just love those type of games. The like block sliding puzzles, basically like the parking lot game where you have to like move all the cars out so you get one car from one side to the other. I love those games. And then the box pushing puzzles where you just got to push boxes and move them around so that you can open up a path to an exit. I love that sort of game. And then another one, a little bit more niche, but the laser / light beam mirror reflecting puzzle games where you got to place mirrors and get them to bounce beams of light. I love those types of games as well. So
one series we forgot to mention now that you speak, the Talos principle. Same concepts of that, uses a lot of that light bending technology to use its puzzles to. It's great.
That is one that I have both Talos principles, but I have not played them yet. So I'm looking forward to playing those ones.
All right. Hope you have fun with them.
So those are all of my honorable mentions.
So, big list. Lots of puzzle games. They ain't dead. It's just they're dead. They come in spades these days. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. Let's have.
I can go first.
I was just gonna say, let's have Lois go first, and then John, and then I'll close this out.
Yeah, because my number one was actually just mentioned during the honorable mention segment.
We had a lot in the honorable mentions.
It's the Talos principle.
That's the one I talked about. I mentioned at the beginning of the game. I'm like, I know this is going to be on Lois's list, but where is it?
Okay.
I had a feeling this was going to be your number one.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite puzzle game.
Have you played both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Which one do you like more?
The first one.
First one. Okay. Go ahead and tell us about both of, why do you like the first one better? And then tell us about it. Okay.
How do I explain? So the first one, the whole concept is you're like a sentient robot, and you wake up and you're in this virtual world sorta, and you have this voice that's speaking down to you as if it's supposed to kind of resemble like the voice of God, and he's called Elohim. And he guides you through this world to solve all these puzzles and figure this whole thing out. And like was mentioned earlier, there's a lot of like light beam puzzles. There's puzzles where there's like these sort of force field doors, and you have to use a deactivator to stop them, but the deactivators can only point one direction at a time. There's other ones where you can move blocks around to jump on top of the blocks to get higher, or to use the blocks to activate pressure plates and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of different types of puzzles in the game, and it gets really tricky towards the end, especially because every single world, quote unquote, that you go to, there's like secrets in each one that you don't have to find to beat the game, but finding them is crazy challenging without like looking it up. So there's definitely a huge story element to this game that I don't want to spoil, obviously.
Excellent. I'm very much looking forward to playing these games because these are right up my alley.
Oh yeah. I remember when I beat the game, I just kind of like sat there and thought about it for a while because it's one of those kinds of stories.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. The second one, Let's see. I have a lot of issues with the second game.
Still a good game though, right?
Still a good game. This
Are your without spoiling anything? Are your issues more with the story or the mechanics?
both.
Okay.
But I would say I have more issues with the story than I do the mechanics.
Okay.
So my main issue with the mechanics of the second game is that, and I think this might just be because it's the second game, it feels a lot easier. Like the puzzles were not challenging at all in the second game, in my opinion.
Okay.
There was only one that I had issues with, and I think it was one of the optional ones.
Whereas the first one, I'm assuming you had a lot more difficulty with those puzzles.
Oh yeah. First one was way more challenging, but yeah, like I said, I think it's just because it's the second game. It's building off the first one. A lot of the things that you know from the first one kind of carry over to the second one.
Okay.
So it's probably just going to be easy by default because of that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep. I knew this was going to be on your list. I'm like, I have a feeling this is probably going to be his number one. So
Yeah, and I feel like
that's why when John mentioned Talos Principle, I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that much because I think that might be Lois's next pick.
And I feel like if I get into the problems I have with the story of the second one, it spoils the first one. Okay. So I don't want to do that.
Fair.
Yeah, fair enough to say. It's like, I have issues with the story, but I'm not going to get into it for spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that very positive for nothing. Solid series.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. This is right up my alley. I'm very much looking forward to playing these games. I think it came out just recently. There's like a Talos Principle reawakened or something. Like, do you know anything about that?
No, I know that it didn't need to exist. I don't know why they re-released the game. It works. The original works fine on most modern systems, and
yeah, Talos Principle Reawakened. It just came out in April. So it's like the first game looks gorgeous. Like, I mean, it's only from 2018. Why did you need to redo it? What's the point of that?
Oh, this was 2014. So
okay. Well, it came to Xbox in 2018 then.
Oh, yeah, I got it on PlayStation. I don't remember when it came out on PlayStation.
Reawakened is $40 on Xbox, and the original is what did I say?
It's 30 on Steam, but I think
30 on Xbox. So it's $10 more for the exact same game. And I can't imagine it looks that much better. It's already a pretty game.
Yeah, I believe Road to Gehenna is the DLC, so it's going to cost a bit more to get that. This one probably goes on sale pretty frequently. There's also physical editions of this game out there, so you can also look for that.
Oh,
that's what I have. I have the physical PS4 version.
Here's one of those examples. This was digital only on Xbox, but it's got a physical on PlayStation.
There we go.
So, the first one doesn't have DLC, but the second one does.
First one does have DLC, but it's included with it might be included with every console release. But I'm not sure on that.
Because at least I'm looking at the like achievements. There's no separate set of DLC achievements like there is for the second one. There's Road to Elysium is the DLC for the second one. I don't. Yeah. Let's see here. Do I? No, I don't have that DLC yet because it's $20. I'm waiting for it to go on a bigger sale. So, all right, Talos Principle. Yep, beautiful game, and that is right up my alley. So.
Yep, beautiful game. There's a couple more things I want to add though. The music in both games is awesome. It's like a atmospheric sort of music, so it kind of like it puts you in this zone when you're playing the game, and you kind of just forget about everything else because you feel like you're a part of this. Like the music makes you feel like you're there. I think that's one of like the main things that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Okay.
But the music really sells it. And then another thing about this game, because if you get into it like I did, like you get super into it, he's super locked in and just like zoning out. There's certain parts of this game that will surprise you. And that's all I'll say.
All right. Yeah, this is another one where it's like I've had it in my backlog for a while. I'm not planning on playing it this year, but maybe I will. We'll see. So, right. John, you mentioned this one when I.
Yeah.
So have you played it?
Yeah. Oh, Pokemon. Well, for my top pick, well, with Talos Principle, personally myself, I haven't visually. I've seen it everywhere
Okay.
when it came to Steam.
You just knew the laser aspect based on like reputation,
Absolutely,
what
yeah.
you've seen.
Because of the
Okay.
amount of times I've seen the game get advertised on Steam itself, holy moly, it must be good. But as in regards to my number one, I already spoiled it. It's Pokemon Puzzle League. It's more of
Pokemon
a
Puzzle League,
personal.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it is. Yeah, because I didn't realize that it was the epiphany that Tetris Attack is essentially that just
They're all the
reskinned
same
with
game.
Pokemon. Exactly. It
Mhm.
was just like, all right, I have to say something about it because for me, it was I caught me by surprise. It was when I was a kid when I got that for Christmas. I was a puzzle game for me. Awesome. I played the heck out of it, and it became the one puzzle game that I was able to beat all my family with. So every time like a visitor would come over, I'd kind of like, hey, want to play Pokemon Puzzle League with me? Or I try to play against everybody or as much plays against people as much as I can. It was my competitive game, and kind of like found a place in my heart, even though it really is Pokemon. The gameplay, the aspect of just the simple little mixture of the games. I forget what was the name that you called it before, but I called it a mixture of Bejeweled and Tetris. But it really is instead of Bejeweled, it's more like another
Puyo
game like
Puyo.
Puya Puya. But yeah, that was all kinds of fun. The competitiveness of being able to stack against your opponent, throw stuff to make life a lot harder on them. It was kind of like a new thing for me with puzzle games, and that just like captivated me. I played the hell out of it to the point that
Yep.
I could no longer, it could barely function. It was a point where I forget what it was. A particular aspect of the game couldn't be. It would freeze up because it would the cutscene would have to run through. Boom, it would kind of like freeze up. Boom, that's it. Wouldn't be able to work. But fortunately, I had my time with it, and yeah, it's just number one for me.
So are you a big fan of Pokemon in general?
I was when I was a kid a huge fan. When for us, my father tried getting us into hockey cards growing up, getting into sports, but couldn't really get onto the ice, couldn't really afford having to spend for hockey equipment every year. So instead of that, switched over to Pokemon, and it was more appealing to us anyways. It was a lot easier, easily accessible too for folks. But
And-
yeah, it was just I had every Pokemon trading card game, the Pokemon games, of course, Coliseum, the stadium games. Yep, everything Pokemon, at least in the gaming aspect, I had my hands on it.
Okay. So Pokemon Puzzle League,
Yeah,
on the N64 game.
yeah, it was strictly for the N64.
Okay. Yep. It has a retro achievement set as well. So, if anyone wants to play for retro achievements, okay.
Not
Pokemon
easy.
Puzzle League, just another. So I'm assuming that there are just lots of different skins of the same game, right?
Yeah,
Not a whole lot,
But
but
okay,
there are.
a decent
Like
amount then.
Brett had mentioned earlier, there is a version of it in Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, Pokemon.
There's Pokemon. There's actually two Pokemon ones. One of
Mario.
them's for the Game Boy Color.
Oh,
And
that?
I think I actually liked that one more than Pokemon Puzzle League on the N64.
Oh, is it
And it's
Pokemon Puzzle Challenge?
Yeah, and it's for
That's Game Boy
one
Color.
very specific reason.
Also, retro achievements.
When you're clearing blocks on the screen, the game won't let the bottom rise up at the same time as when you're clearing blocks. The Game Boy Color version was the first one where that changed, where you could actually do that. So you could get a chain going and then rise the blocks up to keep going and just keep going and going and going. So you could get like times 50 chains if you were good enough, which is
Okay.
unheard of in the main game.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
And then that mechanic carried over to the DS one, Planet Puzzle League.
Oh, okay. Very nice. All right, Pokemon Puzzle League for your number one.
Yeah, it is one of those games that certainly has seen many skins, but it is definitely not alone in that aspect. There are many just core concepts, because that's what really the puzzles are. Is the core concept is the fun of it, but there's always, like I said earlier, there's a lot of these games. The core concept needs some sort of like hook or attraction to put the individual or the player into the seat, ready to engage with the puzzle itself. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. I almost forgot that to mention Jason's number one. And so for Jason's number one, remember, this is Jason's number one. So everyone, you guys can give him flack about this on our next episode when he's back, because I've never, ever, ever, ever heard anyone ever consider this a puzzle game ever in the existence of ever. His number one is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I'm not sure how that qualifies as a puzzle game, but that's what he sent me. So
I could see it.
It's as much a puzzle game as it is a rhythm game.
Rhythm game, that would make more sense. A puzzle game, I haven't played it, so I don't know. But from what I've seen of it, I would never ever consider it a puzzle game. So
just raise the volume on the music for the Mike Tyson Punch-Out. There you go. You got yourself a rhythm game.
So yeah, Jason's number one is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So in my opinion, boo this man. That's not a puzzle game, especially not for number one. Maybe honorable mentions. So
I'm gonna make a weird comparison here. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is just like Shadow of the Colossus. They're both boss gauntlet games where you're trying to figure out how to beat the boss.
Okay. That actually puts it in a little bit more perspective for someone who hasn't played it.
I do have to push a little bit. At least Shadow of the Colossus, it's a how, or it's for more Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it's which button order.
So I would give him flack about that if he was on stream, but he's not, so we'll have to wait till the next one. But that's Jason's number one. So, all right. Then for my number one is kind of a basic answer, but it had to be my number one. I do mention it quite often. And as you might have kind of gleaned off of my picks, first-person physics puzzle platformers, like mind-bendy stuff is like, those are my favorite ones. And the cream of the crop when it comes to that is Portal 2. This game is what really put... Oh, look, he had it queued up. You knew it. You knew it, didn't you?
Yeah, as soon as you started talking, I knew.
Yeah.
Oh, no surprise. It was a phenomenon when it came out.
Portal 1, I could not wait for Orange Box to come out because I was already a big fan of Half-Life, but I could not wait for Orange Box to come out because I was like, Portal looks amazing, and they released that as its own standalone. I bought that, and the original Portal is almost more like a tech demo because you could beat it in like under an hour if you know what you're doing. It's quite short. There's a little bit of a story to it, but it's almost more like a tech demo. Portal 2, they took that and just, cranked it up to 11, so to speak, because they put a really great story in it. You got some really great ancillary characters with, the first Portal, they expanded on, because GLaDOS was in the first one. Someone has to remind me, was Cave Johnson in the first one?
Cave Johnson, is you talking about the other robot?
No, Cave Johnson is his character has already passed away. You just hear recordings of him over the loudspeaker. I want to say Cave Johnson was only in 2, but Cave Johnson was a fantastic character portrayed by J.K. Simmons. He did an awesome job as Cave Johnson.
I think you're right that he was in 2, and he was just conceptually known in 1.
Yeah,
I don't remember
if he was in it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to dig out an old memory. I'm thinking where with 1 it was just he was a known name. He just didn't have a voice or a face or anything like that.
That could have been where he had like a picture on the wall, but then
they had
they have voice lines from him and stuff. So that was, you never even see him because the character's already dead, but he's a great character. They took GLaDOS, who was already a great, one of, if not my top favorite antagonists of video games. And they pair you up with her, and she exists in a potato, and you got to work together to get the facility back. Wheatley, voiced by Stephen Merchant, is a fantastic character. They made it, like I said, the first one's like you can do it in like an hour. Portal 2 is probably like a 12 to 15 hour game, so it's it's got a lengthy campaign. I didn't think that There was only one puzzle I really had trouble with in the first game, and that's because it was basically a time-based puzzle. Fortunately, they didn't, and it was very disorienting because you had to like launch yourself through a portal like super high, and then get your bearings and shoot your next portal before you go back down, and then it flips you around. So that was easily the worst puzzle in the game because it's very disorienting. Every time you go through it, you got to flip and reorient, and then shoot your portal before you start falling again until you have like 1 or 2 seconds to do that. They don't have any puzzles like that in Portal 2, so I think the puzzles were better. Plus, they introduced all the different there's the different gels. So there's the blue gel, which is like the bounce gel. Then there's the orange gel, which is the speed gel. Then there's the white gel, which is doesn't really have any effect, but you can use it to coat surfaces that you can't normally put gel on in order to either make it blue or orange.
You remember the lore for that?
I do remember that the white gel is crushed moon rocks, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the crushed moon rocks and all the new tech and such. Yeah, it was really
if
cool.
I remember
well
correctly,
elaborated.
the moon rocks is what caused Cave Johnson to get sick in the first place, I think. I've got, companion cube was introduced in the first game, but I got my companion cube right there. I used to have a little turret and it would light up and it would say some of the lines from the game, but I don't know what happened to it. I think it broke or I lost it. But yeah, they just took 2 and just made it better in every single way. And on top of that, they also added an entire post-game 2-player co-op campaign that is completely different than the single-player campaign. You got, you play as the robots Atlas and Peabody, and you each have your own set of portals, which just throws a whole nother wrench in the mix, because you now have 4 portals to work with, and that it's a bit short. It's like 5 chapters, and each chapter is like 6 to 8 test chambers, so it's a bit short. But the co-op campaign was fan-freaking-tastic. There's not a single bad thing I can say about this game. This is still to this day one of the best puzzle games ever made, and it makes me so sad that Valve can't count to 3, because some people are like, the meme is Half-Life 3 confirmed. I would pick a Portal 3 over a Half-Life 3. Even though I love Half-Life, I would rather have a Portal 3 than Half-Life 3 because I love Portal that much.
I get Portal 3 would now you get me a little torn, but I will say, like, they did do a good job in completing the story with Portal 2. With what really fascinates me with Portal and the franchise itself is that it's very, very rare for a puzzle game to give you a tool and the obstacle is the entirety of the environment. You have to get from point A to point B. Like, you see that often with the platformers, like Legend of Zelda or like Banjo-Kazooie, other stuff like that, where it'd give you a tool at a certain point in the game. It'd give you a tool. You'd be able to go over those obstacles. Sure, okay, fine, on to the next. But it wasn't such a huge aspect where it would be the entirety of like your entire experience with the game.
Right.
With Portal, you had the gun, you had just the portal gun, and that was your entire environment, was your oyster in how to solve the puzzles. Yeah, there was a lot of them that had different forms and ways, but it was just everything around you was your tool to be your tool made the entire world the tool to overcome the obstacles. It's just a fascinating, fun, new way to play puzzle games that just everybody came in on it. And even people who weren't puzzle players, people who were just like fascinated with the FPS aspect or the story aspect, all had a chance to get hooked on this and open up their eyes to an entire new genre for themselves. Hands up, mad applause for Valve with their Portal games. Always love them.
Yeah, the turrets and their lines and how they're like are
Where
hilarious.
are you?
Like, I don't hate you. Are you still there? And they're programmed to shoot at you, but they don't really want to, so they're like apologize to you. It's freaking great. I've got a couple of those of the turrets lines as text tones on my phone.
Very cool.
I've actually got a number of audio lines from this game as different text tones on my phone. But what else are they gonna say?
This game has a 98% positive rating.
It absolutely deserves it.
Yeah,
98% is extremely rare.
It is fantastic in every single way.
The only things that people truly like have a legitimate gripe with it on would be like particular mechanics, bugs. things like that. I'm grasping really at straws.
Grasping straws.
Yeah,
I never had any bugs with the game. At least I don't
me
remember.
neither.
I played it a number of times. But yeah, just the thinking the tagline of the original game was now you're thinking with portals, because it just like there was no game like it before it, and now you got to think how to solve these puzzles using portals to like get from one part, either get yourself from one area to another or launch objects through your portals and keep the momentum and stuff to get them to areas that you wouldn't normally be able to reach. Just like was one of those first games like, whoa, this totally changes how you have to think in order to solve these things. So also the gravity beams, you gotta, you can reverse the directions, and that you have to use that to solve puzzles as well. As you can see right there, light bridges, that's another aspect. You have to either use them to get across stuff or block stuff or unblock stuff. It's just so many excellent aspects to this game. The one thing I was very disappointed by is the fact that when it came out, they were talking about they were going to have a like test chamber builder that they were going to release as like a free DLC, so that you can go and build your own test chambers and then share them online. And that never came to be. So if that had happened, I probably would have never stopped playing this game, because I would have basically infinite test chambers to play, because the entire community building test chambers would have been amazing. You could probably John doesn't really know me that much, but anyone knows me. He's like, Xbox is my main platform of choice, which he's probably figured out because I'm always talking about Xbox. You could probably do that on PC with mods and stuff, but they were talking about doing that in every version of the game so you could have it on consoles, but unfortunately it never happened. So
Okay.
But while we're on the topic, I do want to shout out it kind of dovetails into the next section, but I do also own this on Steam, and I played it a little bit on Steam, but I've 100%ed it on 360. I went to the midnight launch for Portal 2. That might have been one of the last midnight launches I went to. That was a lot of fun. But what I was going to say is that if you buy this game on Steam, you get free access to a basically like a fan-made spiritual successor called Portal Revolution. And it's basically a whole nother campaign with additional mechanics in the game that Portal 2 does not have. So if you have this game and you like Portal, go and you have it on Steam, go download Portal Revolution. And that's probably like number one on games that I haven't played yet that I just haven't played it. I got to play Portal Revolution. So, all right.
Solid stuff. Yeah, good choice. The Portal games. Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with those.
So
if you haven't played it already, holy moly, what you're missing out is that is a beautiful point in gaming history right there. The Portal games.
Absolutely.
Guilty.
You haven't played Portal?
No, not yet.
Fix it
now. It's always time to fix that. So
they're on the wish list.
And they on Steam, they're old games, so they go on sale for like $1, fairly often. So if you want to pick them up on Steam, and pretty much anything these days can run them because they're rather old. So there's not really much excuse to not play it unless it's just not your jam. So all right, well, that will do it for tonight. Last thing here before we wrap up, we kind of do our group rank. Jason usually handles this, so apologies if this isn't up to his standard. He figures all this stuff out. So we give a great top 5. I don't really have anything for 4 and 5, but I do have a top 3 between us. And I put Portal at number 3 because that was also mentioned on I think John's honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions. Yep.
And then at number 2, I put Tetris Attack because there was a couple different versions of it mentioned tonight. And then at number 1, unsurprisingly, Tetris Effect, since all 3 of you guys had that as your on your list. So that is our group rank altogether. So, Lois, thanks for joining me for another top 5 as always. John, nice meeting you, and we'll have to talk some more in the future. But we'll go around the horn here and let everyone kind of plug what they got going on. And briefly, if you've got any puzzle games that you're looking forward to playing, whether they're out or not, or like I said, I've got a list of ones that I just haven't played yet. What games are you puzzle games are you looking forward to playing? So, Johnson, it sounds like you got to go soon. Why don't you go ahead and say goodnight first and tell us what you got going on and what games you're looking forward to.
Yep. Well, you can find me over at Big Jono Gaming. The link's down in the description below. You can find me over. That's my usual stream channel where I just upload my streams, go online, talk with people, have fun. Down over in that main page, you can find where I'm usually at. Gronkin Gaming down at the bottom. That is where my usual news YouTube channel is at. We're live Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday. Sunday. Hold on. I got Australians with me, so it's a little bit wonky when it comes to time zones. Forgive me.
What time zone are you in?
I'm on the East Coast. Now
Okay.
that I've got it nailed right, it is Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. We have our shows, and in between, we try our best to do some group streams, go live together over at Gronkin Gaming. A lot of good fun, a lot of noise making. We always have a blast. Always, and thank you very much for inviting me. A hell of a pleasure to have a good babble about puzzle games and to meet you guys for the first time. Hell yeah.
Yeah, glad having you on. So, any puzzle games that you're looking forward to playing?
I don't have any. I'm just very satisfied with Tetris Effect Connected. Just keeping that satisfaction. I'll still be pissed at Tetris 99 for kicking me out because I'm having too much fun with that one. But yep. Actually, no, I do. Audio Mech. It's not very much a puzzle-ish, but it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm platformer, but it's
okay. Puzzle adjacent.
Yeah, and there's another one. I'm looking at my wish list right now. That was a better one. More of a atmospheric simulator, but it's a puzzle of a basic degree. Free Shepherd. You're basically playing as a border collie protecting a herd.
I think I've heard about that game.
It was announced. I think with like the end of this year. Something like it was announced during the awards ceremony. I believe it was.
Oh, that's probably
the
why.
Free Game Award. The Game Awards. Yeah, it looked fascinating. So I'm sure as hell gonna check it out. But anyways, not gonna hold you up much longer. Thank you guys again. Always a pleasure. Hope to see y'all in the next one.
Before you go, Crazy Landlord. What's up, Crazy Landlord? Good to see you. He says, John, I like all the Halo stuff in your background.
Thank you very much. Yep, Halo is near and dear to my heart, and as you can see, ODST fan till the grave, man. Feet first in the hell. All the best.
So, thanks for you can stay till the end, or you can take off right now if you need to. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Had a great time chatting with you, and you have a great rest of your night. And I'll talk to you soon because we got.
All right, absolutely. You as well.
Have some more
all the best,
interaction.
Guys.
So. Nice to meet you.
Later, John.
Pleasure.
And yeah, dude said my last midnight launch was for Borderlands 2. Crazy Landlord says, does Halo 5 custom puzzle games count? I did not know that was a thing. But I don't really know exactly what that entails, but playing Halo custom puzzle games, that sounds very intriguing. That sounds like it would be up my alley. So, all right. And I do have the link. That's what I was going to say while he's here. I do have the link to his channel in the stream description. If anyone wants to go give him a sub, that'd be great. So, Lois, what do you got going on, and what are some puzzle games that you're looking forward to playing?
There aren't any that I can think of.
Oh, okay.
So
I've got quite a list.
There's probably some that I could find if I looked through my wish list, because you know how I keep track of all the games that are coming out.
Yeah.
There's two that came out last month. One's called Kijora, the other's Bento Blocks, but they're both seem to be like pretty casual games. So I'm not really into them. But for the games that came out last month, though, I'm actually putting out a video tomorrow, my RNG video.
Okay.
Random new games. It's going to be where I go through all the games that came out within the last month, rank them 1 to 10 based on what I think looks the best, and then whatever's number one, I'm going to play it right after the video premieres.
Okay.
And
cool.
I have all that planned for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, I think. I think I got that right. So yeah, that's tomorrow. I recently put out my best games of 2025 video.
I also yesterday or the day before.
Did you see it?
I did.
Were you surprised at what number one was?
I forgot what it was off the top of my head. But I won't. You don't tell me, so entice people to go watch it. Go check out his video. I'm pretty sure I remember what it was, and yeah, I was not surprised.
It's not surprising at all.
Based on our last episode of Top 5.
Yep. I also put out a compilation of all the worst takes of 2025 in one.
I watched that one too. That
lazy
was
video. Yeah,
that was basically just a summary of all the previous ones you'd done, right?
Yep, and I just lazily chop them all into one video and throw it out there.
That was great. I enjoyed rewatching those.
Yeah, it's probably more fun watching it than it is making it.
That's usually the case.
That's
basically why I don't make videos, because I like talking about games. I don't like making videos about them.
I feel like I'm pulling my hair out every time I go over one of these stupid takes, and I don't even have hair.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm bald as hell, and I love it. Let's see what else is going on. I've been playing Stellar Blade recently, and I'm probably going to finish that up sometime soon. I don't know when.
Okay.
That's one of those. Okay, have you ever had a game where you're playing it, and then you get to the end, and then you kind of just waffle around and screw around because you don't want it to be over?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't say off the top of my head of any game that I've done that, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so that happened to me when I was playing Expedition 33, and now it's happening with Stellar Blade. I don't want to go beat it. I just want to go run around and find all the stuff and
stay in the world longer.
Yeah, that game it's also because like I don't have like a lot of motivation to finish the story because the story is kind of stupid.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about stupid. It's like predictable and kind of generic, if you ask me. But like, yeah, just being in the game world, listening to the music, and just like kind of vibing around is way more enjoyable than I expected it to be.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be doing that. I don't know if I have anything else.
Okay.
There's probably some puzzle game on my wish list somewhere that's coming out in 2026 that I'll probably want to play, but the main one that I haven't played that I still want to play is Luminous Arise. I just want to wait and see if there's a physical version that'll come out.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be on your list. I thought I remember you talking about how much you loved it, but it must have been someone else.
I played the demo of it and I thought it was really good.
Okay.
And then I had it in one of my RNG videos. It was the #1 game. But I didn't play it.
Gotcha.
I haven't played the full game yet.
All right.
But yeah.
I
should mention my RNG videos. I do that every single month. If you want to keep up on like what's coming out or what came out recently, because I don't do pre-orders. There's no pre-order. There's no hype. There's no nothing with my channel. If you just want to see what is out and you can buy right now and keep up with that, watch my RNG series.
Yes,
that's all.
Watch his RNG videos; they're great for keeping up on what's coming out. So
they're fun to make too.
That's good,
except for the worst take part. But
like, how can you be this dumb?
People like to watch that part though, so that's why I kept it.
Yeah, those are great. So I appreciate that. All right. As for myself, I have quite a list of puzzle games here that most of these I have. I just haven't played them yet. But I'll start with, let's see here. I think the only one on this list that I don't own is the House of Da Vinci games that I mentioned earlier. I don't have those ones, but I do want to play those at some point. All the rest of these I have, I just haven't played yet. Antechamber. I've heard good things, and it's another one of those first-person games where it just like twists physics and everything. I've heard it's very complex, so I picked it up without knowing almost anything about it on someone's recommendation. Portal Revolution, as I mentioned earlier, it's basically a fan-made extension to Portal with additional mechanics. One that came out last year, and I've heard nothing but good things, but I haven't played it yet. Blueprints. I'm kind of surprised that one didn't get mentioned at all tonight.
Oh, I recently watched someone else's top games of 2025 video, and that was his number one, and I was kind of surprised.
Okay. I've heard great things about it. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet. So I don't know when I will, but I'm pretty sure I will like it when I do play it.
Yeah, it was surprising because the guy is a Nintendo fanboy. He put it over Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I would play Blueprints over Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I'm not much of a Nintendo fan outside of Metroid and some Zelda. So,
I think I'm looking through my wish list now, and like the one that sticks out to me the most is Reanimal.
Okay.
For the puzzle tag, but
so
that's about it.
Let's see. I got one here. It's called Black Hole, and it's just like a 2D puzzle platformer, but it has to do with like shifting gravity and rotating the play space in order to get where you need to go. And then all the rest of these are other first person like physics puzzlers, which are like my favorite, which is, why Portal was at the top. But Talos Principle 1 and 2, very much looking forward to playing those. Entropy Center is very similar. And I actually played a little bit of it yesterday. I played some of these games just to get a refresher on this, or not a refresher, but just to get a couple minutes in it and get the basics of the game down. Entropy Center, you have this gun that basically reverses time on the object that you shoot it with. So you're basically in this dilapidated facility, and you can use this entropy gun, kind of like in the movie Tenet, where entropy is in opposite directions, although it's not that convoluted, but you can basically reverse time, and like stuff that has fallen apart goes back into being whole again, essentially. So you can use that to solve puzzles. And the gun is quirky and talks to you because it has an AI in it. Relicta is kind of similar to Cube, where you have like this these gloves. This is a very pretty game as well, and you have these gloves that allow you to manipulate magneticism. So you use these boxes, when they're opposite charges, they attract, and when they're same charge, they repel. And so you use your gloves to manipulate. I played it for like 10 minutes yesterday just to get a refresher in my head of what this game is. And there's maybe a lot more to it than that, but it's a very pretty game, and it's a 3D, and you using your gloves to manipulate boxes and move them around and stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to playing it in its entirety. There it is right there.
I just added it to mine.
So
this looks like it could be right up my alley.
Yep. And then the last one that I haven't played yet, and I was planning on playing through it before the stream, but I didn't get through it, but is in the vein of Viewfinder, where it just like messes with reality, and it's called Superliminal, and it has to do with moving objects and perspective. So like if you pick up a soda can and like walk away from it, and then you walk back to it, it's like really small, but then you can like move it closer to yourself and drop it, and then it's huge. So you use the shifting of perspective to make objects larger and smaller in order to solve the puzzles. So it's another one that in that same vein of first person, like kind of physics puzzler. And there's things that are painted on the wall, and you have to line it up just perfectly. And once you do, then it forms into an actual object, like that checkerboard pattern turns into an actual checkerboard cube once you get in just the right position. So that's another one that I'm looking forward to playing. And then the last one on my list is not out yet, and it does not have a release date as far as I know, and that's called Screenbound. And this game it calls itself the first 5D puzzle game, and it's super trippy. So you're playing in 3D space.
Oh, I've seen this.
But you also have this Game Boy that's in 2D, and everything you do in 3D also is what happens in 2D. And so it's like another one that just like F's with your mind, because you got to think in 2D and 3D at the exact same time, and it looks freaking phenomenal. So I'm very much looking forward to playing this game eventually. So but yeah, so those are the puzzle games that I'm looking forward to playing. So last thing before we say goodnight here is Jason usually tells what we got going on. We have another episode of Top 5 in 2 weeks from now. I'm not announcing it because it's not 100% set in stone, or it depends on our guests. but it's going to be Valentine's Day themed. So, but we'll have another top 5 in 2 weeks on the 17th. And then for myself, I will be doing my next episode of Achievement Chasers with Dude on Thursday night. And then I will be starting for Metroidvania Monday on Monday. I will be starting the game Islets, spelled Islets, but it's pronounced Islets.
I played that.
And I've heard good things about
pretty
it.
Good.
So it's pretty short. So I think I should be able to knock it out before the end of the month in 3 streams because it's a shorter game, and I've heard good things about it. The Jack Thompson is the developer, and I played the first game he did at Sheepo is the very first video I ever had on my channel because I needed to record the Xbox. You can only record like 5 minutes at a time, and I needed about 10 minutes in order to record it because I was recording a speed run for an achievement guide. But this was like a year before I started my channel, so I just needed somewhere to record and place that video. So I had it somewhere. So that's the very first video on my channel is a Sheepo speed run. But that's the only one of his games I played. Although I have all 3 of them. The second one was Crypt Custodian, which I haven't played, but I will be playing it. And then Islets is the most recent one, and I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm going to be doing that on stream. It's also in my Xbox community. That is the Metroidvania of the month. So that's also why I decided to play it for Metroidvania Monday, because I just finished playing Revenge of the Savage Planet, and that game was freaking great. So, all right. Well, that will do it for tonight's top 5. Lois, as always, great chatting about video games with you. And everyone in chat, thanks for hanging out with us for this stream. And you guys all have a good night, and we will see you all later. So, and as always, in the meantime, game on. Ooh, I love it.